Hawkeye Sports Network from Learfield. This is Hawk Talk with Lisa Bluder. Brought to you by Bud Light. It's for the fans. Hy-Vee, the official grocer partner of Iowa Hawkeyes basketball. Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle. By the Iowa Governor's Traffic Safety Bureau, who reminds you to click it or ticket day or night. By University of Iowa Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. U.S. Bank, life keeps moving. We're here for every step. U.S. Bank, member FDIC. And by Authentic Brand. Look authentic, feel authentic, be authentic. Get your game day gear online at authentic-brand.com. Now, here is your host, Rob Brooks.
And welcome to another edition of Hawk Talk, the first one in a new year. Welcome to 2022 from Bumps, the Nagel family clubhouse at Finkbine Golf Course, as we've got a special couple of guests for you tonight as the coaching staff busy practicing over at Carver Hawkeye Arena. They had a night practice and will lift a little bit later on tonight, so the coaches obviously are over at the arena. But Lindsay Alexander, who is the Associate Strength and Conditioning Coach and has been on before a couple of years ago, so we'll kind of get her comments, how things have gone, and kind of talk you through about what happens with the players in the summer into fall workouts leading up to the season. Really interesting stuff. And then how the strength training has changed throughout the years. And then Jenny Schurter, the trainer for the University of Iowa women's basketball team, will be along after the 6:30 hour, and we'll talk about what her duties are. She's been busy the last couple of years, obviously, with the COVID virus, very heavily involved in the testing aspects. So a lot of interesting stuff coming up tonight on Hawk Talk. Of course, the Hawkeyes coming off a non-conference win, thankfully able to play a game on Sunday. It didn't look good there for a while, but take care of the Purple Aces of Evansville at 93-56. Record-setting day for Caitlin Clark. We'll talk about that, of course. A Carver Hawkeye Arena scoring record of 44 points and more weekly honors for two Hawkeye players. But it was interesting last week to see where another postponement of a Big Ten game as Iowa was getting set to play their second Big Ten game after the Michigan State victory back on December the 5th. But was supposed to travel to Penn State and take on the Lady Lions, and a couple days previous to that found out that was going to be postponed. That was supposed to be on Thursday night, the 30th, and then found out that Illinois was not going to be able to play at Carver Hawkeye on Sunday because of COVID protocols, and kind of felt that was going to be the case even earlier in the week because the University of Maryland was supposed to play in Champaign against Illinois Thursday night. That was not going to happen. Then you kind of backtrack the days that players got to sit out and could kind of figure that Illinois was not going to be able to make it on Sunday. So as this coaching staff has done before when the Drake game and the Cancun trip was canceled, just trying to find somebody to play. And thankfully, Evansville agreed to come to Carver Hawkeye Arena on Sunday, and they were in the neighborhood, thankfully, because the weather was not good over the weekend, as we all know, but played the Drake Bulldogs on Saturday afternoon at the Knapp Center in Des Moines, and then was able to take a slow bus ride along I-80 and get to Iowa City on Saturday night, able to play the game on Sunday before heading back to Indiana. And I know that Coach Bluder and her staff worked really, really hard to try to find a couple of other games, too, previous to the IUPUI game because of the three canceled games, Drake at home, and then the two that were to be played in Mexico against Seton Hall and USC. And then, of course, the Hawkeyes going through their own COVID protocols, and that just didn't happen. Kansas State was a possibility at one time, a couple other schools, but just could not find the date, and that really makes it difficult, especially at this stage of the season, to try to find anybody on a spur of the moment, not a whim, to come and play you. A lot of teams don't want to play a top-notch a team like Iowa because it just doesn't help your net, doesn't put any wins in the win column, and it's just another loss. So it makes it very, very difficult, but certainly thankful that Evansville was able to come to Iowa City and play, and the Hawkeyes played for sure as Iowa got off to a good start in the first quarter, leading 26-15, and then Evansville made a nice little run, and the Hawkeyes didn't quite execute as well in the second quarter offensively, and that was a deadlock at 15-15, but the Hawkeyes still had a lead going into the halftime break, and then really just came out firing on all cylinders, outscored the Purple Aces 32-13 in that third period, and then cruised on in the fourth quarter, winning that 10-minute segment 20-13. But early on in the contest, of course, Caitlin Clark went over the 1,000-point mark for her career. Remember, she's just a sophomore. 1,000 points, that's hard to believe. But the fastest Big Ten player ever to do so. And then, of course, set a Carver Hawkeye Arena scoring record of 44. That was previously held by Amy Herrig at 42 back in 1999. Her 18 field goals, also a Carver Hawkeye Arena record. Monica Sonano actually had 17 field goals against Northwestern last year on the 28th of January. And Megan Gustafson and Herrig also had 17 field goals inside Carver Hawkeye. So congratulations to Caitlin Clark, who had 44 points on 18 of 26 from the floor, made a couple of three-pointers, 6 out of 7 from the free throw line, and still was able to dish out 8 assists and collect 5 rebounds. And the thing you really have to like about her line is 8 assists to just 1 turnover. Hawkeyes had 20 assists to just 12 turnovers for the ball game. And then, of course, Addie O'Grady coming off the bench. Remember, the Hawks were down a couple of starters, and Monica Sonano in the middle as one of them. And O'Grady came in to spell her. No McKenna Warnock as well. But O'Grady played 24 minutes and 17 seconds, was 7 out of 10 from the floor, and had 14 points and also 12 rebounds. Both of those career highs, and her first, obviously, double-double of her career, her young career, just being a true freshman. And then both Clark and O'Grady honored by the Big Ten this week, as Caitlin Clark was the co-Big Ten Player of the Week, and then O'Grady gets her first weekly honor, being the freshman newcomer of the week, registering, of course, her first double-double, and with the 14 and 12, and then shooting 70% from the floor, 7 out of 10, and then also blocked a couple of shots. So she is really starting to come on in her minutes, and I would expect her minutes to increase as time goes on in the Big Ten. Certainly going to need Addie O'Grady in the Big Ten play in January and February, and also leading up, obviously, to tournament time in March. Logan Cook and Tomi Taiwo both get their first career starts, and Tomi had 6 points and 5 rebounds, and Logan Cook did a terrific job getting loose balls, tipping balls out to get extra possessions, which were key and really fueled the Hawkeyes. So Gabby Marshall also had a season-high 13 points. Gabby's been shooting the ball very, very well, over 40% from three-point range, and was 3 out of 8 from behind the arc and 5 of 11 overall. So great Sunday afternoon for the Hawkeyes, and much needed, because, boy, just did not have a good taste in their mouths after that tough loss to IUPUI, where things looked like had everything in control in the third quarter, ended up losing that one 74-73, and then cut loose for the Christmas holiday, and expecting to come back and play on the 30th in Big Ten competition. And then last Sunday, well, that didn't happen, but able to play Evansville. Otherwise, you were looking at a game on the 21st of December and not playing until Northwestern comes to Carver Hawkeye Arena on the 6th. So nice to have one game under their belt here in 2022. Northwestern, that's a 7 o'clock tip on Thursday night. The Wildcats also have been under COVID protocol, but are practicing this week, and all indications are that game will take place on Thursday, and then the Hawkeyes will head to Nebraska for a Sunday afternoon game in Lincoln. That is a 1 o'clock start. Well, we've got a great show on tap for you on this Tuesday night, and certainly great to be back at Bumps after the holiday break. If you would like to join in the conversation, have a question for Lindsay or Jenny or myself, you're welcome to call in at 1-877-464-2957, 1-877-464-2957. Tonight's show brought to you by Bud Light. Bud Light probably welcomes back Hawkeye fans, thankfully, to Carver Hawkeye Arena this year. Bud Light is for the fans. This is Hawk Talk presented by Oaknall, and we'll be right back as this show is coming to you from Bumps on the Hawkeye Radio Network from Learfield.
In Iowa, we grow corn, a lot of corn. We love seeing our farmers in the fields, and although they're perfect strangers, we know them. We know them by their equipment covered in dust. We know them by their work ethic, where days off don't exist. We know them by the way they wave, passing strangers alike on a 2-lane road. We know them in the midst of our kitchen as we prepare another family meal. In Iowa, we grow corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa. The Iowa corn farmers are proud to be on the sidelines for the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Get your ice cold Bud Light seltzer here. Even though you can't go to the game, doesn't mean the game can't be brought to you now here. Just go to budlight.com/delivery. That's budlight.com/delivery.
Give me 2 mangoes.
Coming at you. It's a little short. Ow. Sorry. You know what? I'm just going to walk them over to you.
Whenever there's a game to watch, there's a Bud Light there. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, and Bud Light Seltzer. IRC Beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
Check out Bumps Restaurant, located on Melrose Avenue in Iowa City, inside the new Nagel Family Clubhouse at Finkbine Golf Course. We use fresh whole ingredients and scratch cooking in all of our dishes. Come enjoy a blackberry avocado salad, our famous pork tenderloin, or maybe our signature Kinnick burger with a side of our fresh hand-cut french fries. And don't forget to try our legendary Mary and handcrafted cocktails. Reservations are encouraged. Make yours today by calling 319-335-9662. Bumps Restaurant, legendary man, legendary food.
When you set up a savings goal with U.S. Bank, it grows with you. There's no limit to what you can crochet. Can do. Doesn't have to be crocheting, but it totally could be. Like the headphones you're listening to this ad with, you could totally crochet those. There's no telling where your savings goal will take you. Maybe you'll save enough for yarn to crochet your house or the whole town. Oh, right. Doesn't have to be crochet related.
Set up savings goals on the U.S. Bank mobile app, even for the wildest of dreams. U.S. Bank. We'll get there together. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Are you looking to downsize from your family home to begin your retirement years? Our Oaknall East campus is for you. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director at Oaknall. Our new campus has many unique amenities for your active lifestyle, in addition to providing the same great services that Oaknall has offered our residents for over 50 years. We're now open and have a few 2-bedroom apartments still available. Call me at 319-351-1720 or visit oaknall.com to set up your personal tour. Go Hawks!
Knowing that I can make a difference in my patients' lives keeps me motivated every single day. Hi, I'm Dr. Kanya Ferguson at University of Iowa Healthcare. With academic medicine, we see the toughest cases, so we're always innovating. And we bring the best minds together to collaborate, so there's more brain power focused on you. Because that leads to exceptional care for our patients and our community. See how at uihc.org.
Welcome back to Hawk Talk from Bumps, the Nagel Family Clubhouse here at the Finkbine Golf Course on a Tuesday night. We'll be back next Monday, our regular time slot, I think, for the next 3 weeks, the next 3 Mondays from 6 until 7. So make plans to come on out and enjoy some of the great specials here at Bumps. Mondays, I know many people I've talked to enjoyed the prime sirloin steak a couple of weeks ago. $10 for an Iowa USDA prime sirloin steak with a side. Also $5 well martinis. That on Monday nights. And then Tuesdays, tonight, 2 tenderloin sandwiches for just $10. And then all craft draft beer pints at $3.50. tomorrow night, 2 burgers for $12, all bottles of wine half price. Then on Thursdays, I saw a nice tweet on this last week. It looked really good. $5 monster tacos. So you've got seasoned ground beef, cheddar cheese, lettuce, tomato, sour cream, and salsa, and then also $3 classic or strawberry margaritas. So specials Monday through Thursday, every single night here at Bumps, and then happy hour Monday through Friday, 4 until 6, $3 well cocktails and domestic long neck beer bottles, and $4 select coastal wines. So not only on Hawk Talk nights, but any night, come on out to Bumps. Before Lindsay Alexander joins us, let's take a phone call. Anthony is checking in from Des Moines. Anthony, how are you?
Pretty good, Bob. Just want to apologize for my voice. In case you don't know, I'm a little under the weather right now.
Well, I hope you feel better.
Wish you guys all a happy new year and everything. And congratulations on the win against Evansville. The questions I have for the coach here, what are your concerns against Northwestern and how you match up with them? And a roster question here for you, Bob. Who are the best point guards since Vivian Stringer coached at Iowa back in her days as coach of Lady Hawkeyes? And I'll hang up and listen, and go Hawks. Thanks,
all right,
Bob.
Anthony, appreciate it. Yeah, we'll Northwestern here in a little bit, and boy, did C. Vivian Stringer have some terrific teams getting to the Final Four back in 1993. And the thing too is you run into some coaches that Coach Stringer had play for that are now in the coaching business and end up running into them around the country as well. So we will certainly get to your questions, Anthony. Numerous players that were so good for C. Vivian Stringer and also for Coach Bluder. Great point guards. So Lindsay Alexander, as promised, as she is the Associate Strength and Conditioning Coach and also Special Assistant to the Senior Women's Athletic Director. So, Lindsay, appreciate you joining us. We've done this before, one time, 3 years ago.
Yes, we have. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no problem. So, just start off talking a little bit about your background. What got you into this business? I know you're a college athlete, so you had certainly that interest, but take us through your steps to get here to the University of Iowa.
Yeah. I first arrived here in 2012, so this is my 10th school year at the University of Iowa. Prior to that, I served in a similar capacity at Purdue, so in the Big Ten, and was there just a little over a year. And I went there straight out of grad school. I served as a graduate assistant at Illinois State for 2 years, and that's where I did my undergrad work and graduate work where I was a swimmer. And I really got into strength and conditioning when I was in high school. That's when I first kind of got exposed to the weight room and being an athlete. I did basketball and swimming in high school and just really saw the effects and benefits of strength training and in my performance in the pool and on the court. And so then I found out that was you could actually do that as a living. So I got, I knew right away that's what I wanted to do. So when I got to Illinois State, I got connected with the strength staff there, obviously through my own time in the weight room, but through the director there. And once I was done with my eligibility, they asked me to stay on and be a graduate assistant, and I worked with several teams there in my time, and it was a great experience. And I've been here for 10 years, so worked with a lot of different
That's hard to believe.
I know. Yeah, for being 24, it's weird. But so I've worked with a lot of different programs in my time here, and so right now, obviously, I'm working with women's basketball. Then I also work with women's tennis and women's gymnastics.
What other programs have you been involved with?
I've worked with tennis. Golf, rowing, soccer. Were other sports that I worked with since I've been here. Rowing, yeah, quite a few. So I think 8 total.
Well, you might hit them all by the time you're done.
Well,
right?
you never know. I still got time, hopefully. So,
yes.
Yeah.
And those different sports, obviously, different focus as far as strength and conditioning. Is that something that you have to set up?
Yeah, so, whenever you get a sport that maybe you haven't had experience with, I worked with swimming and diving here as well. When I first got here and I started working with gymnastics specifically, I had a tennis background, golf background through my time at ISU and at Purdue. But it's really just spending time with the coaches and then spending a lot of time at practice and trying to get a good handle on, what are the needs of the sport and what are the needs of the student athletes, and then how can I use the weight room to help address those needs, through performance. And that's really, so Larissa has been amazing, and spending my time, with them. They've been with them every year that I've been here. So, every sport's different. The culture of the team, not every team, just because it's gymnastics, is the same, and how they operate and what are their strengths and stuff. So it's really just spending a lot of time with the coaches and getting to know the sport. So. And
I'm sure on an individual basis too, everybody has different needs.
Yeah. So then there's that. Not alone. You have your team, and then you have the individuals. Whether it's they do different events, specifically within like gymnastics. You have some kids that do, women that do all around, and some that just do maybe one or two events. So addressing those needs. Same within the sport of basketball. Your guards, is it your post, and what are the demands during the game for them individually. So then trying to address those and working with obviously the athletic trainers and Jenny, and is there something that we need to address from an injury history, and really trying to give them the full workup of everything that they need. So.
And it just seems like it's an industry that, gaining in popularity, gaining in staff, and becoming very, very important, but also evolving every single year.
Yeah. It's, I think we've talked about this maybe before, just when I first got into the field, and even when I was in high school, what, strength and conditioning meant. And now really we usually use the word performance, and that's how do we use just the weight room specifically, or conditioning maybe specifically to enhance performance. So sometimes it's not as cut and dry as maybe the old school method of just lifting weights, and it's what are the demands of the sport, what are the demands of practice compared to competition, because that can be completely different demands as far as practice versus competition, and making sure they're prepared for both.
And obviously it's a long season, because you get going in the summer with the women's basketball team when they start to show up, and rest and recovery has to be an aspect of that too. But kind of walk us through when the players start to arrive for summer workouts, what the focus is there, kind of leading into the fall.
Yeah, so the girls arrive, freshmen included, in June, usually about that second week. We get started, and we have 8 weeks of training with me. So they're with me 4 hours a week. They're with the coaches 4 hours a week. And that's really what we call like my time. And that's, so 8 weeks, so we'll go
Because it used to be there was no coaches right interacting with players.
Yeah, so when I first started with basketball, I think it was all 8 hours I could have, or it was like 6 and 2, and then it went to 4 and 4. So I got a little less time, but, Coach Bluder and the staff is great about, they know this is an important time to get ready physically for the season. So they're really great about making sure that I get all the time that I need. So, we go 4 hours a week for those 8 weeks. Then they get to go home for a couple weeks. Really the main focus over the summer is just getting them as strong as possible and as resilient as possible to be able to handle the season, because it's, like you said, it's really long. And then once we get back, they'll get about 2 weeks away if we're lucky, and or we might be in Spain or wherever, depending on the year. But then they get 2 weeks away, they come back, and then it's really about 5 weeks that I get preparing them before our first official day of practice. And again, same thing, just there, then that's where maybe we're focusing more on the conditioning side of things, just making sure that they're at the capacity to handle, practice, because the load goes from 4 hours of practice they can go up to, essentially about 16 to 18 once my time goes down. So just making sure that they're prepared for that.
So then once the season starts, obviously you're out there before practice, getting everything going as far as making sure that they're ready, and then also on game days. You've got duties as well. So what do you really focus on with the players before a game or before a practice?
Yeah, so I warm them up every single day for every practice, and then warm them up for shoot-arounds, and then for all the games. So travel with them 100% and at all the home games as well. So yeah, just really just making sure that they're prepared and their bodies are ready for the game, and they were warmed up, ready to go. Any extra stretching or something that specifically they need, we try to take care of that. And then, yeah, I mean, post-game, if they need anything, obviously, I'm helping with that, getting onto them, you know, taking care of their bodies, and home games or stuff, if they need to go ice bath and that, Jenny's great about getting them and to do that as well. So, yeah, and then making sure that they eat right as well. So.
Yeah, there is that, right?
That's that whole
the
portion.
nutrition
Yeah.
aspect of it has changed a lot as well. Really have to watch in season and out of season what you're putting in your body.
Yeah, it's really, I mean, I always tell them, you know, I can give you the best training program. Coach Bluder can be the best basketball coach there is, but if you're not taking care of your bodies nutritionally and getting the sleep that your body needs to recover every single day, none of that really matters. So it's really, really important, and we emphasize that with them. And they do a pretty good job for, you know, at the end of the day, they are college kids, but they do, because they take it and they want to, you know, they take the sport serious, and they want to be successful, and they understand what they need to do to be successful. So.
How often do you kind of look at what you're doing with a sport or learn from colleagues across the country and change things up year to year?
Yeah. It just kind of depends. I mean, honestly, we have such a wonderful staff here. We really just feed a lot of ideas off each other. I do speak to other strength coaches, but I always say I'm lucky because I have the best coach in the country. You know, she so values what we do. She never takes away the time. She makes sure that we're getting in our 2 lifts a week, and so that's really great. But just, you know, we've been fortunate. The university has really just provided us with all the equipment and technology that we use to monitor our student athletes, and that's really what I would say I have changed over, you know, year to year. It's, you know, testing, monitoring, and then evaluating how they're doing, and then changing what we need to change based on where they're at. So,
what's some of the biggest changes you've seen since you were a college athlete to what you see today?
Yeah, probably the technology. I mean, really, obviously in all facets of life, it's really changed. But, you know, like tonight, I warm them up, and then we jump on the force plate, and then I upload that data, and then I can look at it and immediately say, okay, someone is seemingly, more tired than they normally would be, or, and then I might make a suggestion, hey, we might just want to cut some reps down. This person looks fatigued. So we jump. We have force plates in the weight room, so we do that once a week, and Coach Bluder's great about that. We don't ever miss a jump session. We get that in every week. So I have hundreds of metrics on all the girls, so I have like a profile that I know, okay, this is normal for her, and then if they're outside of that zone, okay, do I need to change something? Do I need to get with Jenny about something? So that's really been the biggest thing, is the technology that we have
and
available.
The monitors that they're wearing, is that still
Yeah, so
utilized?
we went away from those,
yeah.
Only because, again, like Coach Bluder does such a wonderful job of just naturally controlling the player load of the week and doing.
I suppose there can be too much data, right?
Yeah, there can be. Yeah. It's really like what we've found over the last this is my 6th year. What we've found is important with the way our program operates, and so the force plates, which is what we do, the jumping on, we found is the best kind of bang for our buck. The GPS gave us a lot of great information, but again, Coach Bluder did such a great job of just naturally, you know, giving them lower days and higher days that we just found that we didn't need to do that anymore. So
yeah, part of using that technology and finding out what works within a program. Very,
Absolutely.
very important.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be back with more from Lindsay. She comes from a family that is rooted in sports for sure, and we'll discuss that when we come back on Hawk Talk, presented by
Tourism's 2021 Hotel of the Year and awarded the AAA 4-Diamond Award for lodging. To make reservations, visit thehotel@kirkwood.com or call 877-751-5111 for more information.
Check out Bump's Restaurant, located on Melrose Avenue in Iowa City, inside the new Nagel Family Clubhouse at Finkbine Golf Course. We use fresh whole ingredients and scratch cooking in all of our dishes. Come enjoy a blackberry avocado salad, our famous pork tenderloin, or maybe our signature Kinnick burger with a side of our fresh hand-cut french fries. And don't forget to try our legendary Mary and handcrafted cocktails. Reservations are encouraged. Make yours today by calling 319-335-9662. Bump's Restaurant, legendary man, legendary food.
Texting while driving is a very dangerous form of distracted driving. Drivers who use handheld devices while driving are 4 times as likely to get into crashes that can injure themselves or others. Drivers of all ages simply don't realize the dangers that are posed when they take their eyes and minds off the road. Everyone needs to do their part. Help save lives. Don't text and drive. This message is brought to you by the Iowa Department of Public Safety, the Governor's Traffic Safety Bureau, and your local law enforcement.
Are you looking to downsize from your family home to begin your retirement years? Our Oak Knoll East campus is for you. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director at Oak Knoll. Our new campus has many unique amenities for your active lifestyle, in addition to providing the same great services that Oak Knoll has offered our residents for over 50 years. We're now open and have a few 2-bedroom apartments still available. Call me at 319-351-1720 or visit oakknoll.com to set up your personal tour. Go Hawks!
Oh, you know that old injury of yours? The one in your knee or maybe back? Instead of going to the doctor and then doing physical therapy, why not start with therapy first? Athletico Physical Therapy is changing the whole healing process around. Their physical therapists will find the source of your pain and help fix it. Start with them and start living pain-free. Just like that.
It all starts with Athletico Physical Therapy. Schedule your free assessment at athletico.com. No prescription needed. Proud partner of the Iowa Hawkeyes.
And welcome back to Hawk Talk. We are at Bumps, the Nagel Family Clubhouse at Finkbine. Appreciate everybody once again coming out for our first Hawk Talk of 2022. We will be back next Monday. I think the next 3 Mondays, 6 until 7. So come on out and join us and enjoy some of the great specials here at Bumps. Iowa and Northwestern on Thursday night inside Carver Hawkeye. That's a 7 o'clock tip. Most home games have been at 6:30 at night, but this will be a 7 o'clock tip. The Wildcats at 9-3 on the year, and then the Hawks hit the road for the next 2 at Nebraska on Sunday at 1 o'clock, and then a pretty quick turnaround, head to Purdue on Wednesday for a Thursday night contest against the Boilermakers. Lindsay Alexander, kind enough to join us here before she has to head back to practice. Associate strength and conditioning coach, and spends a lot of time with these athletes to get them prepared for a grueling season. And Lindsay, you mentioned you swam at Illinois State in college and have a terrific family that is really rooted in athletics, and your brother, Brian Dinkelman, has been the manager of the Cedar Rapids Colonels the past couple of years. Was a coach before that. Terrific college baseball player that got all the way to the top in Major League Baseball with the Twins, and is still in the area, and was in Cedar Rapids last summer, thankfully playing minor league baseball. And I know that he supports you, and you come up to Colonels games a lot and go back and forth. And your family's a big baseball fans as well, right?
Yep. So, yeah, it's been nice having him here, and just so happens that I worked here, and just so happens that, the Colonels and the Twins organization have a place here, and that's where they placed him. So we really enjoyed our time, these last 6 years of him being here. And yeah, it works out great because, he's working in the summer, so I can go watch his games, and then in the winter is more of his downtime, so he's able to come to some of the women's basketball games. He's been to a couple gymnastics meets. So yeah, it's been nice having him around. And then just, we all love sports, so it's a great time. And yeah, the family, my parents, they were on the road this summer watching a ton of baseball games because they really missed out with not having the minor league season last year. And and they come to women's games, and they drove to North Carolina when we went to the Sweet 16, and so we have our family loves sports, and that's pretty much what our lives revolve around. So, yeah.
And I'm sure I didn't miss hardly anything when you were in college, and I know he had a terrific baseball career, and I'm sure they went all over the country and watched all those games.
Oh, yeah. They didn't miss very many games. It was nice. His college was only about 45 minutes from our hometown, so they went to a lot of those. And, yeah, they traveled all over watching me swim. And, yeah, they don't take vacations. They go, they watch us compete, and now they watch us coach and support whatever teams that we're with and coaching. So,
and I'm sure that's important to them, too, because sometimes when you're that busy, you got 2 college athletes to watch, you think it's going to last forever. And then if you get out of athletics, boy, what do we do now? But both of you still in athletics, so that's great.
Yep, so we got plenty for them to do. So.
And talk a little bit about the gymnastics team, too, because kind of fly under the radar sometimes, but boy, this is a terrific group of athletes as well.
Yeah, so just to give them a little, so with the women's basketball team, we're on the road this weekend at Nebraska, so I encourage everyone to get out. They have their home opener Saturday night, 5 o'clock at Carver. Returning Big Ten regular season champions, Big Ten Freshman of the Year, and Adeline Kinlan. They're a fan. We had a floor champion and numerous Big Ten champions in events. So they're a wonderful group to watch. We are returning almost everybody. So on the gymnastics side, so I would encourage you all to get out this week. On Saturday night and support them in their home opener, 5 o'clock.
Boy, it comes quick, doesn't it?
Yeah, the season you're preparing, the next thing you know, it's here, and it's like, I need more time, but you hope that, you had enough time. But they do a great job, too. They're here usually all summer and compete and practice and spend time with me in the summer as well. So, yeah, they're a great group.
And you mentioned all the terrific coaches you get an opportunity to work with, other staff members, and to kind of think back this calendar year for all sports at the University of Iowa. Unbelievable, just unprecedented with individual players and teams competing at the national level and having just so much success.
So much success. It was just, this last year was so much fun. Even the year before, it was some of, that did get cut short. But, last year was a phenomenal year. And just, we had, specifically with the teams I got to work with, Caitlin was Big Ten Player of the Year, and then Adeline on gymnastics, and then with women's tennis, Alexa Knoll was Big Ten Freshman of the Year and Big Ten Player of the Year. Getting to work with her. She's number 3 in the nation right now. So I have a lot of really, really great student athletes, and they're all great humans, and I really enjoy working with them. So, yeah.
You must be doing something right.
I don't know. They have some pretty incredible coaches, so I'm just, it's just grateful to be a part of the program.
Lindsay, appreciate you stopping by.
Well, thanks for having me.
Okay.
It's good to see you.
Do it again.
Of course.
We'll see you Thursday night.
Thursday night.
Lindsay Alexander, Associate Strength and Conditioning Coach at the University of Iowa, does a terrific job, and certainly appreciate her stopping by at Bumps for Hawk Talk. And Dodge Street Tire and Auto, locally owned and operated, has been voted best of the area for the 9th consecutive year. Proudly supports the Iowa Hawkeyes women's basketball team. Visit Dodge Street Tire for all of your automotive needs, including the best deals on Goodyear and Toyo tires. Dodge Street Tire and Auto, celebrating 29 good years on the corner of Dodge and Church Streets. And, of course, don't forget that Oaknall brings us Hawk Talk with Coach Bluder every single week. And we are here at Bumps from 6 until 7. And if you forget, if it's a Tuesday or a Wednesday or a Monday show, you can go check out HawkeyeSports.com and find the Connect tab, and we'll give you the full schedule for the rest of January and February. But next Monday, 6 until 7 here at Bumps. And we'll be right back with more Hawk Talk presented by Oaknall. It continues after this on the Hawkeye Radio Network from Learfield.
Anything can happen when the Cyclones and Hawkeyes come to compete. It's where the rubber meets the road. Neighbors become rivals and friends become foes. Some go home broken-hearted, while others are victorious. When the dust finally settles, one thing stands true. No matter which side you're on, you're part of tradition for those who are Iowan through and through. We're Iowa Corn, a proud sponsor of the Iowa Corn Cy-Hawk Series. In Iowa, we grow corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
Get your ice cold Bud Light Seltzer here. Even though you can't go to the game, doesn't mean the game can't be brought to you now here. Just go to budlight.com/delivery. That's budlight.com/delivery.
Give me 2 bags.
Coming at you. It's a little short. Ow. Sorry. You know what? I'm just going to walk them over to you.
Whenever there's a game to watch, there's a Bud Light there. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, and Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beer, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
Check out Bump's Restaurant, located on Melrose Avenue in Iowa City, inside the new Nagel Family Clubhouse at Finkbine Golf Course. We use fresh whole ingredients and scratch cooking in all of our dishes. Come enjoy a blackberry avocado salad, our famous pork tenderloin, or maybe our signature Kinnick burger with a side of our fresh hand-cut french fries. And don't forget to try our legendary Mary and handcrafted cocktails. Reservations are encouraged. Make yours today by calling 319-335-9662. Bump's Restaurant, legendary man, legendary food.
Flu season is here, and you can get your flu shot now at your Hy-Vee pharmacy. It's easy, convenient, and you can schedule your appointment online. Just go to Hy-Vee.com/mypharmacy. Plus, when you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, you get a 20-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver. This year, it's more important than ever to stay healthy. So go online to Hy-Vee.com/mypharmacy today to schedule your flu shot and get a 20-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver. Some restrictions may apply.
Texting while driving is a very dangerous form of distracted driving. Drivers who use handheld devices while driving are 4 times as likely to get into crashes that can injure themselves or others. Drivers of all ages simply don't realize the dangers that are posed when they take their eyes and minds off the road. Everyone needs to do their part. Help save lives. Don't text and drive. This message is brought to you by the Iowa Department of Public Safety, the Governor's Traffic Safety Bureau, and your local law enforcement.
Draft Day Sports Lounge is the ultimate place to watch the game, have some fun, and show off your golfing skills with Topgolf Swing Suite. Topgolf Swing Suite in Draft Day delivers a one-of-a-kind simulation that's fun for golfers and non-golfers alike. Pair that with Draft Day's retro games, local craft beers, and delicious menu, and you have a winning pair. Riverside Casino and Golf Resort, home of the new Draft Day Sports Lounge and Topgolf Swing Suite, just minutes south of Iowa City.
More Hawk Talk from Bumps. Iowa and Northwestern on Thursday night. More Big Ten play. Hawks have had one Big Ten game so far against Michigan State, and hoping to get through the rest of the schedule with no problems with COVID or anything else, and have a terrific January and February. Well, we continue to learn about some of the behind-the-scenes things that go on to make this Iowa women's basketball team click. And Jenny Schurter, the associate athletic trainer for the University of Iowa women's basketball team, 23 years at
Correct.
the university, and has a lot to do with the success of this program. Jenny, and just kind of walk us through about your duties now, and kind of what got you interested in this field and stay in this field.
I obviously am with women's basketball. I also am in charge of women's golf. And then I'm an associate, so I supervise other sports underneath me, other athletic trainers for sports. I have to be honest, I'm not one of those, in college I played a sport, I got hurt, this happened. I actually did a occupational research paper on it my sophomore year of high school. And I was from a small school in Iowa, and we did not have athletic training, had no clue what it was, did a research paper, and was like, this kind of sounds good. So, I played sports in high school, but kind of took the competitiveness of athletics plus the medical side of it and combined the two, and I was like, this is what I want to do.
And of course, now with the COVID here the last couple of years, you were heavily involved in the testing that took place last year. When I had to come over for football road trips at the rec center, you were the first person that I saw, and boy, yeah, that was something. Obviously, there's no textbook or research paper to do, trying to get something like that going. You've had a really busy couple of years.
Yeah, we didn't learn about how to get through a pandemic in college. So it was, very trying. It's unfortunately still here, and but it's a lot of organization, and obviously we're doing everything we can to keep the athletes healthy, our staff healthy, and Yeah, I never thought I'd be swabbing up a lot of people's noses.
A lot.
A lot. If I had a dime for everyone.
Yeah, for sure. And how has the testing changed from, obviously, right in the heart of the pandemic, everything was new last year, just trying to play sports, to now, obviously still going through it, but at least have some more knowledge and recognition of what's going on?
Vaccinations are one of the big things that has changed our testing. Last year we had the rapid antigens. We were testing daily through the season, and then we would go down to once a week. And then with the implementation of the vaccines, if you are vaccinated, we only would test if they have symptoms. Anyone that's not vaccinated, we would test on a weekly basis to keep that. So now with even the boosters, which, is obviously with what's going on right now, we're very big on, trying to get these athletes boosted just to keep them, like I said, as healthy and so we can keep playing along with it, but obviously for their health more than anything. But we'll still are the unvaccinated test once a week. We test any symptomatic or if you're exposed. So if we have an athlete that's vaccinated but exposed, we will test them about day 5 after exposure just to make sure that they are healthy.
How much communication comes down from the Big Ten Conference?
Last year was a lot. This year they've left a lot more up to state and university protocols. So we've had a little bit more, I don't want to say leeway, but kind of like we were in charge. Last year, the Big Ten did all the protocols and everything.
And obviously, that's just one aspect of what you're doing, but obviously trying to keep players healthy, trying to stay away from injury, and when injury does occur, they obviously find you, and some more than others. So got to talk about, too, as far as your duties, trying to prevent injuries with players, what's done on that aspect, and then obviously if somebody does get injured, trying to get them back as soon as possible.
Yeah. So when they come in out of their freshman year, we do orthopedic screening with, our physicians do that with Dr. Wolf, which is our director of sports medicine. And we kind of look to see if there's anything that they have in their history that we need to look at, or if something comes up on exam. I also do a little extra, I call it jumping training. It's just watching them land and how they take off to see if they're, if there's a deficit, and there's some other tests that have been validated to show if you're above or below a certain percent, you're at more risk of a knee injury. So if they're that, then I can work on mitigating some things. I work with Lindsay, and we can come up together with a program to try to mitigate injuries. Obviously, we can't prevent all injuries with that, but we try to do what we can on the forefront to help that. And then obviously, when an injury happened, we had a couple ACLs obviously this year. I'll do the eval, get the stuff going to get them out to the physicians, and then I take care of all the rehabs myself. And then once they get to so far, working again with Lindsay and what she's doing in the weight room, what I'm doing in the athletic training room, so we can, come together and work together versus doubling up on something and forgetting something else. So it's a lot of communication. And then we just keep working them back more and more into the court. And then it's a lot of communication with the coaches of what they can and can't do with that. Because I'm a big believer, try to keep them with the team as much as possible. So once they can do stuff, you can pass, you can, shoot free throws and things like that. And as they go along with the rehab, okay, you can do this drill, we're not going to do this drill, but trying to keep them with the team.
I could notice you're exactly right, because there's a mental aspect to this too.
Correct.
A lot of these players, that might be their first major injury, and you're out 6 to 9 months with serious knee injuries, and to keep them on the road. I've seen you work with them during shoot-arounds and during practices on the road, going through their rehab as well.
Yeah, the mental aspect is huge, and that's one of our components to come back to the court, is they do work with our team psychologists to make sure they are mentally ready, because it's when you're out that long and the first time you get on the court, there's some fear factor. Mm-hmm. So if they're not mentally ready, then we're behind the case. with that, and you risk even different injury because they're not ready. So we work with our sports psychologists a lot to get them to that point.
And I'm sure, too, with knee injuries, you wear a brace for a while, and then that's probably a big thing, too, to finally play without it. That's got to wear on you as well.
Correct. Most people are happy when they don't have to wear the brace, but they're nervous also because it's kind of been their crutch. You could probably ask Kate Martin, what she felt like that first time we were like, you don't have to wear the brace anymore. And it's like, yay, but it's like, oh, whoa. So same thing, just, working, making sure that they are mentally ready. And even on, little injuries, like checking to see, like, are you good to go? Because if they're not, then we're going to risk other things happening.
And that's the thing, whether you sprain an ankle or, you have a shoulder injury, but you can play. And they've got to play through some pain, and then you've got to evaluate, okay, we got to make sure that not risking further injury or injury to something else, and that it doesn't continue to linger.
Yeah, right. I do a lot of things. Are you sore or are you in pain? Because I'm like, sore is different. Like, a lot of people are sore. My back hurts. I'm like, you can play with being sore. If you're in pain, that's another issue we need to look at. Because they're sore. If they're working hard enough, they're probably going to have some soreness. So it's like determining that difference between those two.
No doubt about that. We'll be back with more from Jenny. We've had a couple of questions here from the audience that we'll get to. Here in Iowa, we grow corn, but the truth is corn grows Iowa. Corn is a multi-purpose crop which benefits the entire state, feeds our livestock, nourishes our families, and provides clean-burning fuel for our planet. So thank you, of course, to Iowa's corn farmers. We'll be back. More Hawk Talk presented by Oaknall continues after this on the Hawkeye Radio Network from Learfield.
When you set up a savings goal with U.S. Bank, it grows with you. There's no limit to what you can crochet. Can do. Doesn't have to be crocheting, but it totally could be. Like the headphones you're listening to this ad with, you could totally crochet those. There's no telling where your savings goal will take you. Maybe you'll save enough for yarn to crochet your house or the whole town. Oh, right. Doesn't have to be crochet related.
Set up savings goals on the U.S. Bank mobile app, even for the wildest of dreams. U.S. Bank. We'll get there together. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
The next time you visit Eastern Iowa, check out the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The Jill Armstrong team with Skogman Realty, Bachmeyer Carpet One, Floor and Home, Klosterman Construction, and the Hotel at Kirkwood Center, Iowa's premier luxury hotel, named Iowa Tourism's 2021 Hotel of the Year and awarded the AAA 4-Diamond Award for lodging. To make reservations, visit thehotelatkirkwood.com or call 877-751-5111 for more information.
Hy-Vee Mealtime to Go is mealtime made easy. Just order delicious meals online for convenient curbside pickup or have it delivered. Want breakfast? Hy-Vee Mealtime to Go. Need lunch? Hy-Vee Mealtime to Go. Doing dinner? Hy-Vee Mealtime to Go. Get pancakes, burgers, fried chicken, lasagna, Hai Chai Asian dishes, sushi, pizza, and more. If you're craving it, Hy-Vee Mealtime to Go has it with curbside pickup or delivery. Order today at Hy-Vee.com/mealtime.
Check out Bump's Restaurant, located on Melrose Avenue in Iowa City, inside the new Nagel Family Clubhouse at Finkbein Golf Course. We use fresh whole ingredients and scratch cooking in all of our dishes. Come enjoy a blackberry avocado salad, our famous pork tenderloin, or maybe our signature Kinnick burger with a side of our fresh hand-cut french fries. And don't forget to try our legendary Mary and handcrafted cocktails. Reservations are encouraged. Make yours today by calling 319-335-9662. Bump's Restaurant, legendary man, legendary food.
The next time you visit Eastern Iowa, check out the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes, the Hotel at Kirkwood Center, Bachmeyer Carpet One Floor and Home, Klosterman Construction, Almost Famous Popcorn, and Jill Armstrong Realty, the area's premier realtor. Jill Armstrong and her team strive to make every buyer and seller at ease with the real estate process. If you're in the market to buy or sell a home, contact the Jill Armstrong team for all your real estate needs. Call 319-631-5455.
Get your ice cold Bud Light Seltzer here. Even though you can't go to the game, doesn't mean the game can't be brought to you now here. Just go to budlight.com/delivery. That's budlight.com/delivery.
Give me 2 mangoes.
Coming at you. It's a little short. Ow. Sorry. You know what? I'm just going to walk them over to you.
Whenever there's a game to watch, there's a Bud Light there. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, and Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
Final minutes of Hawk Talk, first show of 2022 as Iowa gets set to take on Northwestern Wildcats, 9-3 on the year. Losses to DePaul, Pitt, and Texas A&M, three good teams, but have not played since December 17th. That was a victory against Temple at 68-58, but the Wildcats are practicing, and all signs are a go right now for Northwestern and Iowa on Thursday night. And Nebraska is hosting Michigan tonight. Michigan in the top 10 in the country. And, of course, Iowa heads to Lincoln on Sunday. And then tomorrow, Indiana is at Wisconsin. Thursday, along with the Iowa game, Minnesota at Rutgers, Illinois at Ohio State, and Maryland hosts Penn State. Jenny, we had a question here about the hot tubs and the cold tubs. Kind of what's the best time for either hot or cold? And I'm sure the players love jumping in those cold tubs, huh?
Oh, they love the cold tubs. Actually, the track athletes do love the cold tubs. There's been a lot of research about which one's better. I go under the theory, unless you have tons of swelling, do what you need to do to recover better. Some people love the cold tubs. Some people feel better and feel they're more recovered after a hot tub. So I kind of go on the theory of what makes you feel better the next day. There are times, you have a bit, new ankle sprain, stuff like that. I'll say no hot, you have to only do cold. But a lot of times they do too, they contrast, so they go between cold and hot. And great, if that's, like I said, I'm more of what do you need to do so you feel better the next day.
How cold is cold?
We keep it about 47, 48 degrees. Actually, 47 to 52 degrees. So it seems like the track cold tubs are a little bit colder than what we keep at Carver.
And how long?
Kind of depends how low they go. We've had some, Hannah Stewart, for instance, she would go down to the neck with it. She'd go all the way in. Other people will just put an ankle or their knees in. So it just kind of depends on how much of your body is immersed.
About 15 minutes or?
No, more like 6 to 8.
About half of that?
Yeah.
Under 10, right?
Under 10.
Okay. Well, Jenny, appreciate it. Good stuff.
Thank you very much.
And we'll see you on Thursday night.
Yes, we'll be there.
Iowa and Northwestern, 7 o'clock tip. The pregame show at 6:45. Appreciate everybody coming out to Bumps tonight for Hawk Talk. And we'll be back here next Monday from 6 until 7.
On the Hawkeye Sports Network from Learfield, this has been Hawk Talk with Lisa Bluder. Brought to you by Bud Light. It's for the fans. Hy-Vee, the official grocer partner of Iowa Hawkeyes basketball. Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle. Governor's Traffic and Safety Bureau by the Iowa Governor's Traffic Safety Bureau, who reminds you to click it or ticket day or night. By University of Iowa Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. U.S. Bank, life keeps moving. We're here for every step. U.S. Bank, member FDIC. And by Authentic Brand. Look authentic, feel authentic, be authentic. Get your game day gear online at authentic-brand.com. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Hawkeye Sports Network. on the Hawkeye Sports Network from Learfield. Live from the Hyatt Regency, this is Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffery. Brought to you by Bud Light. It's for the fans. Brought to you by Ford. Inviting you to visit your local Ford store or buyfordnow.com. Hy-Vee, the official grocer partner of Iowa Hawkeyes basketball. Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle. U.S. Bank, life keeps moving. We're here for every step. U.S. Bank, member FDIC. U.S. Cellular, today's game brought to you by U.S. Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. And by Hyatt Regency, caring for people so they can be their best. Now, here's the voice of the Hawkeyes, Gary Dolphin.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Thank you. Oh, please sit down. A standing ovation is enough. That's all right. Another astonishing start to a game by Big Ten Player of the Week Keegan Murray last night. Ended in a fourth straight victory for the Iowa Hawkeyes, 80-75 over at Carver Hawkeye Arena. Welcome into Hawk Talk, our weekly get-together with Hawkeye basketball coach Fran McCaffery. We're inside the toasty and warm Hyatt Regency, specifically the Edgewater Grill and Bar, and we invite you to come on out here anytime, really, but certainly for the next 90 minutes. We're on YouTube. We'll give you that address as well for our Hawk Talk program with Coach McCaffery, who is on the road. He and Margaret are headed to son Jack's basketball game. I believe they're playing Cedar Rapids Xavier tonight, somebody told me.
It's a home game. It's at West.
It's at Iowa City West. Well, it still could be a little treacherous traveling tonight. That's Bobby Hansen, by the way, who jumped in there. How was the drive in from Marengo?
Good. I was trying to find some basketball games to listen to. I found K-State, I think. I don't know any Big Ten games tonight, but came in pretty quick. A 30-minute ride just searching through the channels, but didn't hit any deer, thank goodness.
Well, that's good. Probably might have saw a couple. They're out there hunting for those leftovers after the snowfall, uncovering. Illinois is up 11 on Minnesota at halftime up in Minneapolis, and Rutgers at home leads Michigan by 9. Rutgers, with Ron Harper, and Geo Baker, they're capable. And I think, Bobby, it's a portend of what's to come in the Big Ten. Every game night in and out. You better not be in the business of predicting winners in the Big Ten, especially if they're on their home floor.
Yeah, I agree. And even not home floor, you looked at Wisconsin at Purdue last night. We had our eye on that game. We were the 8-10 tip, and they were the 6 o'clock tip. Ran a little long, but Wisconsin impressive on the road in Mackey Arena.
They sure were. How about Johnny Davis?
Oh, he's good. Him and Keegan, that is going to be a battle to watch a couple nights from now.
One basketball? In that game. But anyway, Bobby Hansen and I are happy to have you join us. Happy New Year. Throw another branch in the fireplace and stoke the coals. This is a chilly, wintry night as we talk Hawkeye basketball for the next 90 minutes. What else would you like to talk about? It's January in Iowa, and it's Big Ten basketball, and it doesn't get any better than that, not only in Iowa City, but around the Big Ten, and especially on the Hawkeye Radio Network. And you can watch our show tonight on YouTube. Just go to YouTube.com and search for Iowa Hawkeyes. YouTube.com, search for Iowa Hawkeyes. The Twitter handle is @GaryDolphin, and Facebook.com/Voice of the Hawks. If you have a question you'd like to send it in via Twitter or on Facebook. Again, on Twitter it's @GaryDolphin, and Facebook.com/Voice of the Hawks if that is your choosing. Back to the game, and these are Maryland coach Danny Manning's words about Keegan Murray after he tied his career high with 35 points last night, grabbed had 8 rebounds and blocked 3 shots. Danny Manning, who knows a little something about good basketball, says Keegan Murray is an NBA first-round draft pick. In fact, he's a lottery pick. Now, Manning, the former Kansas great, watched Murray tie his career high as he really dazzled Bobby at both ends of the court at the start of each half.
Yeah, and I think anybody that just glances at a game, excuse me, can see that Keegan Murray has this incredible ability and how smooth that he is. And I tell you what, Chris ain't far behind the lefty, so get him some more minutes on the court. But Keegan is worth the price of admission. Fun to watch, good teammate, love his defense, and I think that's what's going to give him a long career in the NBA, the ability to score like he does and quick jumper, but also the ability to defend. And I keep comparing him to my old teammate, Scottie Pippen. A lot of people may not remember that, young people, but, I've heard Grant Hill comparisons, but it's just how smooth and fluid that he is.
He's a little bigger than Grant Hill, isn't he?
Yeah, he's bigger.
Yeah,
he's more like Scottie.
I mean, Grant played big, but Scottie was, 6'7", 6'8", somewhere in that neighborhood. So
he could defend. He could take anybody in the league. He could defend Jordan. Some of those practice matchups were incredible.
I'll bet they were. Well, Keegan came into last night's game, and he didn't want to take any of the luster off the Big Ten Player of the Week award. He averaged about 30 points in 2 victories a week ago, but threw in 35, as I mentioned, with 8 rebounds, 3 block shots, even had a steal for good measure. And Bobby, he had considerable support from, in particular, forward Philip Rebraca, who had a season-high 13 points, and point guard Joe Toussaint, as we'll talk about as the evening wears on. How about Toussaint? 9 points, 9 assists, 3 steals, 4 rebounds. He did have 3 turnovers in 25 minutes, but when you look at the good versus the negative, he was way better than not.
Yeah, he's our player of the game, no doubt about it, and just liked his defense as well at the point of the attack. People don't realize this kid, Fats Russell, the grad transfer from, escapes me right now.
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island, thank you. But he was talking to Coach Dillard Sherman before the game. He said he'll remind you of Allen Iverson a little bit. The kid's got that type of ability, that type of quickness. He's got that crossover, that killer crossover move. So Joe was ready. He was right in his space most of the night. Eric Ayala, they got going a little bit in the second half. But the start of that game, Joe Toussaint was the reason Hawks really got off to a good start, him and Keegan. And as you mentioned, Philip Rebraca, aggressive on the offensive end. He was going right at that big guy, Q Wahab.
Rebraca, 6'9", undersized. Wahab was, he's just a biscuit under 7 foot, the transfer from Georgetown. And yet, Philip grabbed 8 rebounds. He tied for rebounding high with Keegan Murray and had his career high as a Hawkeye. Of course, that's only 13, 14 games in, of 13 points. And, and he'd been down on himself a little bit of late, starting, prior to the Sioux Falls trip, where look at Illinois, look at Virginia, look at Iowa State. He's going up against guys much bigger than him, and it got him down a little bit, but boy, he roared back last night.
Yeah, just reading Fran's comments from after the post game, that he talks about Philip and what a great teammate he is, what a hard worker that he is, and really appreciates his effort. And a guy like that wants to fit in. He wants to do good and wants to help his teammates out, do good for his coaches, and I think he really showed us what he's got last night.
Well, Coach McCaffery's on the phone, headed to Jack's game. Let's bring Fran in for a few minutes here. Coach, Bobby and I have been talking our superlatives. What pleased you most about last night?
I think a lot of things, Dolph, not the least of which was how we got off to a good start. You mentioned that was critical. Maryland has done the pregame. They're a first team. They go on a run. I think we jumped to 18-7. They were on a 21-6 run at one point. You try to guard against that, but they have some explosive offensive players. So when you have 4 guys, all of whom can make threes, all of whom can go off the dribble, and they're all veteran guys. They're all upper class. So that's a handful right there. So we handled their run. They got the lead. We got it back. We spurted a little bit. They kept coming. But the way we handled the press at the end of the game, I thought was absolutely crucial. The way we got the ball, J-Bo for a free throw shoot is also absolutely critical.
It really was, Coach. It was impressive because he never got tested, I guess, of getting the ball in. The guys executed the plays down the stretch. I like some of that action that you run to inbound the ball.
Yeah, and that's where Connor's so important. He's the best, there is at doing that. Maybe the biggest play of the game was, Ayala hits the 3 to cut it to 2. It was, I think, we had a 5-point lead. And Connor grabs it out of the net and inbounds it to J-Bo before they could set their press. They immediately fouled him. We go back up 4. A lot of times guys let the ball bounce. They try to set up an attack while the other team is setting up their press defense. Now you can't get it in. and maybe you make a panic play, turn it over. Get it in quick. Get it into your best free throw shooter, your experienced veteran ball handler, and he'll take it from there.
And, Coach, you used both man and zone last night. I thought the zone slowed down the quick guards that they had about midway through the – when was that? They kind of got control of the game once again by going to the zone.
Well, you guys remember last year when we went down there, the zone was really good to us. So, they had to know we were going to come with the zone at some time. The man was really good at the start. And then, that's a really difficult team to defend with ball screen action, especially with Matt. He's so quick. So the zone, I thought, was connected. We did make some sliding mistakes. Another area where Connor's, constantly telling everybody where to go. As you guys remember, that was only down in Woodbury. The best there was. And Connor's the same way. And when you have really active defenders at the point, like Tucson, Julius, Perkins, and J-Bo up there, you need that guy in the back telling you where to go. The thing you got to remember about this team, it's not a veteran group. We don't have a veteran. Connor and J-Bo are as veterans as you're going to find. But everybody else is pretty young. Joe Tucson's in his third year. Everybody else is either a sophomore or a freshman. And a lot of those guys didn't play in front of anybody last year. There was no crowd. So this group, when you're coming down the stretch against a veteran team, you have to execute. And we executed.
Fran, I thought it was, I don't know if intriguing is the word, but when they went to the 2-3 zone, they really stretched it sideline to sideline midway through the half. The Hawks were up 12. They went on an 11-2 run there and got it back to within 2, and then it was, pretty close the rest of the way. Maryland up 4 in the second half, and then the Hawks go to the zone and get on I think it was a 10-0 run. If I go back through my notes here properly, you got back up 8. Keegan hit the big 3 off the assist from Tyler Ulis, 66-58. And then 2 of the better shooting free throw teams in the Big Ten finally starting getting to the foul line. Iowa made 10 of its 12 free throws in the final 5 minutes, and they were all clutch.
Yeah, Tony makes the 2 free throws to put us up 10. We had a chance to put it away right there. Aaron missed the front end with round 7. Phillip, missed the front end after having a spectacular game. So that had something to do with the fact that it stayed close. Danny plays a 3-2 zone. They line up across. And we attacked the zone really well. Even in the stretch where we weren't scoring, we got great shots. We had great open shots. Chris missed the wide open 3. He'll make that most of the time. Tony missed 2 jumpers in the first half. But it was only after, we went to the high post, threw it back out, we had guys cutting. We had people open. We had guys that understood how to attack the zone. And we got great shot opportunities. Sometimes they don't fall. But, you think back, really a huge offensive rebound put back by Keegan down the stretch. They went back to the man late. They stuck with the zone for quite some time coming out of stretch. Then they went back to man, and we went to Keegan a couple times. And, he scored the one time, he got fouled, and then he got put back. So that's what you want your best players to do.
Joe Tucson was making plays at both ends, Coach. I thought a key play, he had 9 points, 9 assists, and 3 steals in 25 minutes. And none prettier than he got the pick midway through that second half. It was a 1-point game, and fed it ahead to Perkins for the monster dunk. That puts you up 3. He then had a 3-point shot later on the assist from Connor that put you up 4. He was making big plays in big moments.
Yeah, he made 2 steals doubling Wahab. Wahab is a handful. He's a wide body, he's 7 feet tall, and they go to him. Despite the fact that the other 4 players that they start are better offensively, Wahab is another veteran guy, transferred from Stewart's now. So he's not a guy that they throw the ball to then throw it back in. They throw it to him, he's going to turn it to 4. He's going to try to turn it to 4. And we got him 3 times. Joe got him twice. Once. That play you're referring to. We had just gone up 3. He feels small, throws it in, Tony to go up 5. You know, now you're trying to get a little bit of separation. 2-possession game, and then we scored again. Now it's a 2-possession game. And that's a game changer when you get down under 5 points.
And, Coach, I always get a kick out of watching you guys with the opposing coach and kind of the friendships that you have, different friendship levels. And it looks like you and Danny are pretty close.
Well, what's interesting, Bobby, if you're at Nike school, Nike, what they've done, we didn't do it last year, and I don't know if we can continue, but for many, many years, they would take all the coaches on a trip. And it was really a great opportunity for the wives to have a nice trip, for wives to get to know each other, but for the coaches to get to know each other. So there's a camaraderie there. So you're in a relaxed atmosphere, you're at a resort, and you get to know Danny Manning or Tad Boyle from Colorado, some coaches that you didn't know as well. And Danny, he's really, for a guy who has the incredible success as a player, he's as humble a guy as you see.
Yeah.
So, the first thing he said was Mark. And I pointed to where Mark was, he waved to Mark, and Mark is waving. She thinks the world of him too. But I was friendly with Cooley from Providence, but on that trip, we even get closer. And that's the beauty of it. And you're not in a competitive situation. You're kind of with professional colleagues, all of them who know what we go through. And Mark would say, you're with a group of women who really understand this business because it's a unique profession in so many ways. And a unique way to make a living. But, it's what we love to do. I consider myself blessed. I've always said how proud I am and how thankful I am to be the Hawkeye coach. But, Danny's as good a guy as there is. And, I think people are rooting for him to have success.
Yeah, I agreed. And also, I think you told me that's where you kind of got acquainted with Coach Olson, Coach Lute Olson and his wife.
If you remember, the story that I told you was, I kind of knew Lute. He was always nice to me when I was a young coach, and I'd see him on the road, and I saw him at the Final Four, and he came up to me to recommend Kirk Spearoff right after I got hired. I got hired down to the Final Four. But I never really got a chance to spend quality time with him. And on that Nike trip, I asked him, I said, I'd really like to play around the golf, right around the park for 18 holes, spend 4.5 hours, and just kind of pick his brain. And it was amazing, his recall on his Iowa experience, the people that he knew, the people that he met, and it was incredibly insightful and helpful to me. I always appreciated that, and we got really close in the ensuing years, as did Margaret with his wife.
Yeah. Good stuff. Coach Fran McCaffery with us for another minute. Fran, I know you want to get inside a warm gym and watch Jack play tonight. Sherman Dillard, by the way, will be joining us in Coach's absence for the rest of the program. But I wanted to get a word about Wisconsin coming up here in 48 hours at the Kohl Center. They rolled into Mackey Arena last night, knocked off third-ranked Purdue. That's hard to do, as you know. Johnny Davis went off for 37 points. I think if I got my numbers right, 34, 35 points, right in that neighborhood. A word or two about the Badgers as you prepare for a tough road trip to the Kohl Center.
Well, that game last night, Dolph, was probably the most difficult I'm watching in a long time. Johnny was incredible. He had 37. He had 14 rebounds. Yeah. and he's pretty much a guard. But they got good play out of Davidson. Tyler Wall really playing well. Freshman Hepburn is really good. They've got a roster that's different because they had that kind of like we did, kind of that core group for a couple of years, and now it's turned over a little bit. So Tyler Wall's role is a little bit different. Davidson's the same. But, Steven Crowd is 7'6", they didn't play him at all. And now he's a really good player. So you know what it'll be like. You've been to the Kohl Center a number of times. Physical games. They play their style, we play our style. And we'll have ready.
Yeah, contrasting styles indeed. As we cut you loose, Coach, a word about the story in the stands last night. We had a gentleman who was with the Maryland party, suffered some type of an attack, a medical emergency. And what amazed me was in 30 seconds, there were at least 5 or 6 EMTs all over him, strapping him up, paddling him, pounding on his chest, whatever they needed to do to get him to snap back, and he did, not once but twice, and got him over to the University Hospitals. I checked this afternoon to see how he was doing, and Matt Weitzel told me he's stable for now. He's a great basketball fan, and we know what a passion Maryland fans have for their program. But you led off your post-game press conference with showing your appreciation for one of the great medical centers in all of America.
I just think it's important, Dolph, to know and understand how lucky we are. And that was an incredibly emotional experience for the Maryland basketball program. Dan was a big booster. Margaret was talking to Danny at halftime. Margaret was in the training room talking to Brad, and they brought him in, and then Danny was in there. He was obviously shook up, and he did not have a pulse. They got it back. I think when you think about it, he had his episode. He was 15 feet from the EMT. They got him into the training room. We have a trainer. We have our team physician. We have another physician just for situations like this. And then you think about it, one of the best hospitals in the world, like one building over. So we got him there quickly, and thankfully, he's fine. He had a heart attack, and they brought him back. He was up and talking, and so we're all rooting for him. But again, just thank the EMTs, the doctors, and all the folks at the University of Iowa Hospital.
Yeah, he is in good hands. Well, Coach, enjoy the game with Iowa City West and Jack tonight, okay?
I appreciate it, guys.
Yep. Thanks, Fran. We'll see you Thursday. There he goes, Coach McCaffery. This is Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffery. Sherman Dillard will be joining us shortly. Fran's longtime assistant coach. He's been on campus for 12 years, and Sherm had the scout. Yeah. In fact, he used to coach under Lefty Drizel at the University of Maryland.
Just to follow up a little bit on that incident that happened where they brought the guy back. I was thinking about him today, and it's like that could have happened on the plane going home to Maryland, and then you got no chance. I mean, the fact that he was right there, as Fran said, the EMT gal was 15 feet away, immediately went to work on it, and outstanding job. It bothered me as I just peeked over there every now and then. It's like, cannot imagine.
Well, we've all had family medical emergencies, and it's a very traumatic experience, and to do it in a building with 10, 12,000 people like last night, right behind the Maryland bench. Now, those young guys for Maryland, I mean, really youngsters in the stands around them, that had to set off a buzz and a reaction that they're not used to seeing.
Yeah, and one of our managers last year, I don't know if you remember Luke, he's still with us, young man from Minneapolis. He had an episode like that. Brad Floyd was right there and just brought him back with the use of the paddles, and he's doing great right now. He's heading back home to Minnesota here in a couple of weeks, and he's looking for a job, I think, up in Minneapolis. And I promised to introduce him to my friend Bobby Young, our friend Bobby Young, who is real close to the company Medtronic, who has the patent on those paddles. And I think it'd be a great story.
Well, we're here to help, as they say. But it's amazing to me how those EMTs, whether they're sitting in the stands eating a bag of popcorn, enjoying Iowa basketball, how quick, how automatically they react and they jump into action. And law enforcement is the same way. Firefighters the same way.
Teachers.
It's not a profession for everybody, indeed. But thank you to our medical staff, our doctors, and certainly the EMTs and Johnson County Ambulance and everybody involved in that life-saving moment last night. Hey, we're here at the Hyatt Regency Coral in Coralville, at the Edgewater Bar and Grill, where you're invited to join us tonight and each week on Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffery. You can enjoy extended happy hour until 8:30. Come and try their brand new menu. I did a little bit earlier, as did Corey. And enjoy nightly specials, including $2 Michelob drafts, half off glasses of select wines, buy one, get one half off appetizer, and sandwiches. Each time you come to the show, you'll be entered into the hotel's drawing to win a range of prizes, including a free room night giveaway each week. That's right, a free room night that they let go each week. All entries will be pooled together for a grand prize drawing at the end of the season. Thanks to Matt, the bartenders, the wait staff, and our hosts here at the Hyatt Regency in Coralville on the beautiful Iowa River Landing. Yes, it's beautiful even this time of year with all the ice and snow out your window when you get up in the morning here at the beautiful Hyatt Regency. Tonight's Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffery is sponsored by Bud Light. Bud Light proudly welcomes Hawk fans back to Carver Hawkeye Arena this year, and we welcome in Sherman Dillard, Hawkeye longtime assistant coach of the Hawkeyes, in just a minute when we come back on Hawk Talk from Learfield.
There's a sense of pride that comes from the life of a farmer. How many people can say they have a famous tan named after them, or be known for their wave when they drive past neighbors and strangers alike on a 2-lane road? Whether it's a farmer's tan or the farmer's wave, we are proud to be known for a lot of things. We feel that pride every night at the dinner table, knowing we feed our family and yours. Iowa Corn is proud to be on the sidelines cheering on the Iowa Hawkeyes. In Iowa, we grow corn, but the truth is corn grows Iowa.
Get your ice cold Bud Light Seltzer here. Even though you can't go to the game, doesn't mean the game can't be brought to you now here. Just go to budlight.com/delivery. That's budlight.com/delivery.
Give me 2 mangoes.
Coming at you. It's a little short. Ow. Sorry. You know what? I'm just going to walk them over to you.
Whenever there's a game to watch, there's a Bud Light there. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, and Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beer, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
When you build a network locally engineered for the home team, you know how important a strong connection is on game day. So you give every fan in town access to 5G at no extra charge. Now, when you switch to US Cellular, you can get unlimited 5G data for only $30 a month with 4 lines. Join the nationwide network built from your town up and stay connected to your home team with US Cellular 5G. Switch today and get unlimited 5G data for only $30 a month with 4 lines. Terms apply. 5G not available everywhere. See uscellular.com for details.
Knowing that I can make a difference in my patients' lives keeps me motivated every single day. Hi, I'm Dr. Kanya Ferguson at University of Iowa Healthcare. With academic medicine, we see the toughest cases, so we're always innovating. And we bring the best minds together to collaborate, so there's more brain power focused on you. Because that leads to exceptional care for our patients and our community. See how at uihc.org.
This is John.
Hey, my name is John Jackson.
He's not some actor. He's a steward of the land with a John Deere 3 Series tractor and a PTO Quick Connect that hooks up rear implements with a single click. John runs with us because to him, there's nothing more important than connecting with the land. Nothing runs like a Deere. Hear John's story at Deere.com.
Stop by your local John Deere dealer for a test drive today or learn more at Deere.com. Your Iowa John Deere dealers, proud sponsors of Hawkeye basketball. Hawk fans, stop in and visit the newly transformed Hyatt Regency Coralville Hotel and Conference Center. Located in the heart of the Iowa River Landing. Walking distance to Extreme Arena, home of the Iowa Hawkeyes volleyball team, as well as some great restaurants, shopping, and scenic walking trails along the Iowa River. Hyatt Regency is the new home of Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffery this fall. Come find your place at Hyatt Regency, where we care for people so they can be their best.
Hawks with a big win last night. Welcome back to Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffery. We have our regular season ticket holders here for Hawk Talk.
Enjoying a Caesar salad. Looks awesome.
That does.
Burger Rick's got over there.
Is that a burger, Rick? Well, you're a farmer. You could appreciate a good burger, right? Huh?
That's good.
Louise is mauling that salad there. It looks delicious. What do you have, Lucy? A little soup? Oh, perfect night for soup or chili. Gary Dolphin with Bobby Hansen. Coach McCaffery is off watching his son play, and we're delighted to welcome in Sherman Dillard. We've had Sherman on the program before, longtime assistant coach to Fran, longtime coach, period, in his 12th year at the University of Iowa. Spent some time at Maryland, and rightly so. You had the scout last night. Good job, by the way.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Your overall thoughts on the toughness of the Iowa team in clutch situations, and there were a few.
Well, you know, if you watched all the games that Maryland had played up to that point, I knew they would be a tough opponent. They are loaded with playmakers, shot makers. They can score in a variety of different ways. They're a veteran kind of squad. We knew it would be tough going in. I think the best thing we did was we got off to a really good start. Was able to play well and fight back the second half. You know, we got down by 4 the first half. But we talked a great deal, Gary, about staying the course in a game like this. And after watching so many of Maryland's games, one of the things I picked up on is that they are a spurt team. They have a tendency to play, get major runs, and they got a big run on us a couple times. But we weathered the storm and continued to fight back and got back to playing the way we should play and taking care of the basketball, sharing the basketball, getting stops and running out.
Yeah, and as we talked prior to the game, you were right on as we talked, and that kid Fats Russell, I like watching him play. You said he's going to remind you of AI, Allen Iverson. And I was like, I hope he ain't that good, but he was pretty good.
Well, I have to be careful about my comparisons, but I had a chance to see AI play quite a bit, recruited him a little bit out of high school. And, you know, Fats he's a jet. He's a blur on the floor. And, you know, I think sometimes you can be fast and you can be quick, but I think what separates him is the ability to change speeds. You know, the ability to be able to stop and go, slow to fast, change directions. He has an unbelievable hip-to-hip, a quick first step, can be a blur in the open court. We had trouble containing him, you know. And ball screen action is tough because he has the ability to go shoulder to shoulder on ball screens, has a wicked, you know, right to left crossover or between his legs. And the little guy, he can finish. He can finish through contact. So I thought Joe and Aaron did a decent job in containing him at times and making him work for everything he got.
Well, he carried them in the early portion of that second half, Sherman. As you know, he had 16 points. He took 15 shots, made 7, and then Ayala heated up from 35 feet there late. He was set shotting threes in where, you know, a territory you wouldn't even normally go out and guard him. And Eric's had some success at Carver Hawkeye Arena.
He really has. You know, I admire his game. He's a seasoned player, veteran player.
All Big Ten.
All Big Ten. You know, and he knows how to play, and he plays within himself. I think the thing that Eric Ayala has is he has tremendous pace. Similar to what I was talking about with Fats in terms of being able to go slow to fast, stopping on a dime. He's a hard guard is what I classify him as. And because he has the ultimate green light, he plays free. He's difficult to guard and contain, but you know, I thought at times we were able to get there and guard him and contain our yard, if you will, or guard our yard. But again, he's just such a crafty player, shifty. It's hard to contain him.
Bobby?
Yeah, I was going to say, talk a little bit about the scouting. You know, our people here that you have the scout. What goes into that scout? And are you working closely with Coach McCaffery on that, or do you prepare it and say, here we go?
Well, I've had Maryland from the time they entered into the Big Ten, and so pretty much I have them down. But as we get into this season, say for instance this season, they played, I don't know, maybe 11 to 12 games before we played them. I watched every single game from start to finish.
12, yeah.
And I try to pick up every play call I can get, tendencies. I really focus on personnel and basically trying to figure out a game plan as to how we can stop this team. I go through that process. I write up a report, put together as much as I can in terms of plays and tendencies, the offensive tendencies, the defensive tendencies, what kind of press they're running, if they play zone, etc. And then when we have probably a 2 or 3 day prep, if you will, to get ready to play Maryland, Coach McCaffery and I will sit down and we will watch probably 75% of those games from start to finish again. So at times I've watched a game maybe twice, maybe sometimes 3 times, making sure I can pick up everything that Maryland does. And one thing that Coach McCaffery has, he's amazing eye for little things that I may have missed. There was one play call that Maryland had that I'd seen the game, but I didn't pick up that particular play call. Let's say it's red or something like that. And so when Fran and I are sitting together watching those games, again, start to finish, he picks up on those things like that. And then basically we put our heads together to determine a game plan. You know, are we going to play man? Are we going to zone? Matchups? Who's going to guard Fats? Who's going to guard Ayala? How can we stop the big fella, Warhop? You know, are we going to double down on him in the post? Or are we going to see if Phillip or other big Chris could guard him one-on-one? And you have to pick your poison there. And Fran and I would sit and talk about it, and we would hash it out as to what we gained by doubling and what we could lose by doubling. If you double the big guy, you get into a scramble situation because you got to scramble out on the perimeter, find a way to contain those quick guards on the perimeter, fight the drive, contest the three-point shot. And when you're trying to close out on a kid like Fats or Ayala,
good luck, yeah,
with that quickness. So we elected to, you know, play it by ear to see how the game would go, and we ultimately decided that if the opportune time came for us to double or to put him in a crowd, we would do such. And I think we did that a couple times. We got a steal, forced him. We wanted to make him a passer. Because I think he's a very talented player. I think he has an ability to score down low, particularly if he gets both feet in the paint. But I think all in all, we did a solid job on him, particularly the first half.
Yeah, and I just to finish that on what the scout means to Kirk and you and Billy, you guys all take great pride in that, I know, in preparing that scouting report. And I get the opportunity to talk to you a little bit before, but at halftime and get your thoughts.
Thank you.
Coach, back to Wahab, your point is well taken, and I think listeners get an idea into what goes into succinct scouting reports. Twice that I remember, Joe Toussaint dropped back in there and peeled the ball away. And that's why I was so impressed with the way Rebraca muscled up last night. You know, he's been frustrated every night out. He's going up against a 7-footer, Kofi, or the 6'10" kid at Virginia. I mean, pick a game here in this recent stretch. But he really muscled up last night, 13 points, 8 rebounds, season high for points. And I think he's settling in back in there along the baseline.
Gary, I think you're right. I think he set the tone with the very first play, offensive possession we had. We moved the ball around the perimeter. We were able to get it inside to him down low. He got back to his left shoulder, which he's very good at, and finished over Wahab. And I think that gave him confidence. And he went on to have a terrific game, I thought. I thought it was his best game to date. And to your point, he is going against some really heavy-duty guys, big guys that are oversized, if you will. And Wahab last night, 7 feet tall. And I'm proud of the effort that Phillip has given us to date, and I think he's going to continue to improve. A lot of it has to do with just understanding that he belongs and he can get that confidence and be assured of himself down low. But he's doing some good things. We're asking him to post deeper in the paint. You know, a lot of times guys have an aversion for the paint. They want to step out on the perimeter. And that's okay with Phillip, because if he steps out a step or two off the block, you know, Gary, he can outquick some of the bigger guys. And so that's an advantage for him. But we also want him down in the block, and like he did on that first play where he kind of spent back to his left shoulder and finished with that jump hook.
And I'm trying to figure out if I should go more Jolton Joe or what was DiMaggio? Jolton Joe was Smoking Joe was Frazier, and Jolton Joe was DiMaggio. And I think Toussaint has a little bit of each in him. He can throw the punch when he has to. Man, he had some dimes last night that your head better be if it's on a swivel, then you may catch up to Joe Toussaint or see everything that he is doing. But you know, he's got great vision, and when he gets going, look out, coast to coast.
Well, he gives us a dimension of quickness and speed, the ability to go coast to coast. We continue to ask him to push it as deep as he can, with the understanding that he's looking to find guys in the corner. We'd like to go 4 around 1 sometimes, and obviously there are times when he may go a little bit too deep at times and gets himself in trouble. But last night I thought he was terrific and pushing the ball, probing, picking the right moment. Sometimes you have to wait a moment for the right moment, and I think Joe did an outstanding job of that. To your point, he got his assists. He made some jumpers. He made some clutch jumpers. He took a 3 one time, and, you know, the kind of 3 where you say, whoa, and it goes in. But I love his energy, and I'm sure Fran would say the same thing. He brings a lot of energy to the team, and it helps us when he's pushing the ball. It helps our wings run a lot faster to the corners. And obviously on the defensive end, I think he has the ability, because of his low center of gravity and his quickness and his toughness, he's able to contain dribble penetration from some of the quicker guards, put the pressure, apply the pressure at the point of contact, and I think that helps our overall defense.
He pushes, and he is tough. Bronx toughness in Joe Toussaint. Coach, before we go to a break, let's take one off Twitter. This is from Dan. Why isn't Jordan Bohannon looking to score more? Well, I don't know that he's not looking to score more. I think Keegan Murray probably got something to do with that.
No. Well, my answer to that would be no. I think Jordan is trying to play within our system, and he is looking to score. We're trying to get him the ball. There were times last night where we called certain sets that are strictly to get Jordan Bohannon the basketball. Now, you have to understand, with his reputation, his resume, the opposing team, they do their scouting also. So what happens, Gary, is that he's been closely guarded, particularly off the ball. When he's a point guard in years past, he has the ball in his hand and he can initiate the offense, and sometimes has a better chance of being able to score from that situation. But we find it better for him to operate off the ball, using screens, tight curling, and I think he's setting more. We've asked him to set more screens. You believe it or not, that small guy setting a screen on a big, they're going to chase him, and that opens up a back cut for Keegan Murray, and also Jordan has a chance to pop out. But no, we're not handcuffing Jordan Bohannon and telling him not to shoot. So I just want to remind everybody of that. We want him to take shots, and he has the ultimate green light to take a 30-footer if he wants. You've seen him come down 1-on-3 and pull, and I know most coaches wouldn't allow that. But
did you ever do that, Sherman?
No,
I played at James Madison.
I played with a coach. I love him to death, but he would not allow that kind of shot.
Well, the only one, as I remember, that Jordan made last night was deep. The one he only took 4 shots.
Yeah, around that MediaCom logo.
Yeah, it was deep, maybe 35 feet, but he's got that kind of range.
He does. He has unbelievable range, and I forget the game it was. He was on the bench for a period, extended period of time, and we were sitting together, and then finally Fran called him and put him in, and he came in the game and hit 2 straight 3-pointers, and when the next time out occurred, I said, how do you do that? How do you, you sit for 5-6 minutes, and your first touch, you let it go from 30 feet. It's nothing but net. Incredible, his ability to do that. And I think that does take some ability. It takes some mental focus to be able to sit on the bench and come out and play to that level. And again, Jordan's a seasoned player.
He is.
He's been there, done that, and he doesn't get rattled. He continues to work. I think people don't understand how hard he works to get open.
Very conscientious.
Yep, he's running off screens. We have a play, and I don't want to call it, but he's running the baseline, and he's trying to use screens, and people are face guarding him, and all in his mug, and they're mugging him. And at times he continues to fight and still get open and knock down a jumper under duress with someone in his face. And I think that's the sign of a talented player.
We were waiting for him to hit a couple threes late in the game, but he couldn't get open, but got to the free throw line. But I was just waiting for, 1-2 punch here for Jordan to knock him out.
Yeah, he made 3 of 4 free throws down the stretch and helped put the game away, or at least kept it a 2-possession game. You're listening to Coach Sherman Dillard, pinch hitting for Coach McCaffery. Tonight, Fran was on a little bit earlier, and we'll be back here next week with more Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffery. When we come back, we'll talk with Sherm about, we'll start looking ahead now after we've pretty much dissected the Maryland win, an impressive victory for the Hawkeyes last night that got them their first Big Ten win of the year. 1-2 now in the conference with a critical game in Madison on Thursday night. And of course, Wisconsin with a big victory at Mackey Arena over the Purdue Boilermakers last night. Back to talk about that and what does Wisconsin present to the Hawkeyes this year. We're brought to you by, we're at, first off, the Hyatt Regency in Iowa River Landing in Coralville and inside the beautiful Edgewater Grill and Bar. Brand new menu for you at the Hyatt Regency. All entry, they have all kinds of deals on all entrees. $2 Michelob drafts, half off glasses of select wines, And buy one, get one half off appetizers and sandwiches. That's a great deal during Hawk Talk and throughout the week here at the Hyatt Regency in Coralville, right down on the Iowa River Landing. Beautiful section of town here. It's a thriving center for the Coralville business community. We're also brought to you by U.S. Cellular, America's locally owned wireless, locally grown wireless with a nationwide network built from your town up. We're proud to be the official wireless provider of the Iowa Hawkeyes, U.S. Cellular. And by Iowa Corn, we know that Iowa grows a lot of corn, but in reality, corn grows Iowa. Corn grows our livestock, our economy, and our athletes. Put on your best face for the Iowa Corn Cam and follow Iowa Corn on Facebook to be corn fed. By the way, the Hawks at Wisconsin Thursday night, that is another late start or later start, 8 o'clock, meaning 7 o'clock for the pregame show here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. This is Hawk Talk from Learfield.
What are you craving? The Wig and Pin in Ankeny, across from DMAC, is proud to offer dine-in and carry-out. Home of the famous Flying Tomato Pizza and Chicago-style deep dish, the Wig has all of your favorites, including thin crust pizza, appetizers, lots of sandwiches like the Turkey Club and Reuben, soups and salads you'll love, and a full bar. Call to order or just come on in for lunch and dinner. The Wig and Pin in Ankeny. What are you craving?
Hey, Hawk fans, Gary Dolphin here. For that extra edge that comes from looking and feeling my best, I reach for my Authentic Brand gear. The style and comfort of Authentic Brand by TCB Companies delivers that boost of confidence to be my best. Authentic Brand gear can do the same for you or your entire workforce. Outfit your life with Authentic Brand gear by TCB Companies. And don't just do it in Authentic Brand.
After a cancer diagnosis, it's natural to want to start treatment right away. But first, get a second opinion from a team that specializes in your cancer. I'm Dr. George Weiner, Director of University of Iowa Holden Comprehensive Cancer Center. Before you start treatment, you deserve to be confident you have the right diagnosis and know every option available to you. So whether it's with us or somewhere else, get a second opinion. It can change your care and your life.
Anything can happen when the Cyclones and Hawkeyes come to compete. It's where the rubber meets the road. Neighbors become rivals and friends become foes. Some go home broken-hearted, while others are victorious. When the dust finally settles, one thing stands true. No matter which side you're on, you're part of tradition for those who are Iowan through and through. We're Iowa Corn, a proud sponsor of the Iowa Corn Cy-Hawk Series. In Iowa, we grow corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
Texting while driving is a very dangerous form of distracted driving. Drivers who use handheld devices while driving are 4 times as likely to get into crashes that can injure themselves or others. Drivers of all ages simply don't realize the dangers that are posed when they take their eyes and minds off the road. Everyone needs to do their part. Help save lives. Don't text and drive. This message is brought to you by the Iowa Department of Public Safety, the Governor's Traffic Safety Bureau, and your local law enforcement.
The next time you visit Eastern Iowa, check out the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes, the hotel at Kirkwood Center, Klosterman Construction, the Jill Armstrong team with Skogman Realty, and Bachmeyer Carpet One Floor and Home, home of the beautiful guarantee. Bachmeyer Carpet One is proud to support the Hawkeyes. If you're looking to remodel, build a new home, or just redo a room, we are your flooring store. Outstanding design and sales staff with the knowledge to guide you in a friendly, stress-free atmosphere. Bachmeyer Carpet One. Come visit us.
And welcome back to Hawk Talk here at the Edgewater Grill and Bar inside the beautiful Hyatt Regency in the Coralville River Landing, Iowa River Landing. I'm Gary Dolphin, along with former Hawkeye great and NBA champion Bobby Hansen. And sitting in between Bobby and I is Coach Sherman Dillard, who's been with Fran every step of the way since arriving in Iowa City. You Coach, you and I have had this conversation a number of times over a cup of coffee. I always enjoy, I love history, whether it's basketball or military, and you coached at Maryland. You coached under the great Lefty Drizel. What was he like as a person, as a coach? He always reminded me a lot of Gene Cady. Kind of always mad at the world, a little bit curmudgeon, a little slumped over, but boy, Hall of Fame, both of them. And Lefty, he got it done. He won, and that's the name of the game. But what kind of person was he, and how did you enjoy your career around him?
Well, first, let me say this. I am here today because of Lefty Driesell. When I was a student athlete at James Madison University for 3 summers, I always worked at Lefty Driesell basketball camp at the University of Maryland. And so during those 3 weeks every summer, I got to know him and he got to know me a bit. And it got to the point where they would call me up to come back and work the camp, because I did a good job.
You did a good job. Well, why else would they call you back, Sherm?
But the highlight of that camp, and don't let me forget to talk about my relationship with Fran McCaffery, but the highlight of the camp was we had these counselor games. So Lefty prided himself in hiring some of the best college basketball players in the country to work as counselors. You know, so it'd be Ralph Sampson, it could be John Lucas, Lynn Elmore, Tommy McMillan. And so every summer I would work that camp, and after I had graduated and got drafted by the Indiana Pacers, tried out with the Kansas City Kings. My first coaching job, Gary, was at 9th grade back in my hometown. So I coached a freshman basketball team for about 3 months. We won the title, by the way. I want you to know that, the conference title.
In 3 months?
And 3
well,
months.
Good for you.
Okay. And so that May, I received a phone call from Lefty, out of the blue. And I thought he was just calling me, and I said, why would Lefty call me to work camp? Because typically an assistant coach was calling me up. Joe Harrington or Will, I forget Will's name. Will Jones was calling me up saying, Sherm, you want to work camp? This is how much we're going to pay. You can give you $90 a week, and for 3 weeks you make that much money. And I'm not making that up.
That's good money.
That is good money. But anyway, at any rate, he said, you ever thought about coaching in college? And he says, you know, what are you doing now, by the way? I said, I'm coaching 9th grade basketball here in my hometown. And he says, well, after this session of camp, I want you to work camp this summer, and you and I sit down and talk. And the end of the 3 sessions of summer camp, he said, be down in August, and we were talking. Halfway through the interview, John Lucas walks in. John Lucas opens the door. John Lucas says, Lefty, why don't you just go ahead and hire that guy? I know you're going to hire him. Luke. And I can't put it in Lefty's twain. But
oh, yeah. I hear you.
But Luke, I owed it to Luke. Luke said, you got to hire him. And then after Luke walked out, Lefty offered me the job.
How about that?
And to answer how he was great to me. I think as a neophyte in the business, he gave me an opportunity to do scouting. One of my first scouting assignments was Duke University. He put me on the road recruiting. He was terrific. I learned a great deal from him about work ethic. And here's what people don't know. I think Lefty is a well-educated man. I mean, he has a Duke degree, smart as all get up, unbelievable memory, and a very good coach. You don't win as many games, and you're not a Hall of Famer if you haven't done things right. He got labeled as just a recruiter, Gary, you know, because we always had great players, you know, and his label was Lefty can recruit. But, you know, he has some national claim in terms of ACC championships, you know, national rankings throughout. But I owe a great deal of gratitude and for giving me the opportunity to coach with him at a young age. I think I was 23 years old, and that's where I worked with him for 6 years.
Incredible. Bobby, you and John Lucas crossed paths a number of times.
Incredible. And Luke was in Houston most of the time that I was around. We had battles, Utah versus Houston. But people forget what a tennis player the great John Lucas was.
Outstanding.
Even teaming with Martina Navratilova, I think, to win a doubles title.
Yes. And when Luke was in college, I mean, I this. If he were playing tennis, there would be a crowd around the tennis courts to watch John Lucas play.
Yeah, he was that good.
He was talented, and you know, as a player, he was outstanding. He was the #1 tennis player in the country as a senior, and the #1 player drafted in the NBA.
Amazing. He's an athlete.
Yep.
Well, how'd you get hooked up with Fran? We won't let you forget that.
And then, so Fran, I forgot that part of it. So Fran also worked at basketball camp, and he was a counselor at one time, and we were part of the counselor games, etc. So I've always known Fran. Fran's always known me. A lot of people say, "Were you friends?" I don't know. We were associates, and I think what happens a lot of times is you become you have mutual respect for one another. I've always had a great deal of respect for Fran as a player in high school. He went to Wake Forest. He ended up going to Penn. He was playing those games, and and I always tease Fran. I said, Fran, you had to be a heck of a player because for people to nickname you White Magic.
White Magic.
For the brothers in Philadelphia to call you White Magic.
Lou Lloyd was the other side.
Yeah, exactly.
Louis Lloyd.
Yeah. So Fran and I we go way back, and so when Fran was hired here at Iowa, I was, I hate to say I was out of a job. I was in transition.
That sounds much more professional.
That's a more appropriate word.
What was the prior job? You had a big job, didn't you, with Nike?
I was working for Nike in grassroots sports and basketball, and I was involved with the elite basketball camps like the Nike All-American Camp, and specifically my job was just to deal with the elite players like Blake Griffin, Kevin Durant, guys like that, and to try to build relationships. But anyway, so I wanted to get back into college coaching. The Final Four that year was held in Indianapolis. And the convention center and headquarters was the Hyatt Regency. And I swear, I walked into the lobby of the Hyatt Regency, and one of the first people I see is Fran McCaffery and his wife, Margaret. And I walk up to him, and I says, Coach, congratulations, Fran. I didn't call him Coach. I said, Fran, congrats, man. That's great. You're going to do wonderful things there. And he says, hey, Sherm, how you doing? What are you doing now? I said, well, I want to get back into college coaching. And he gave me this look. And he says, why don't you give me a call on Sunday, and you and I'll talk.
Same thing that Lefty told you.
Exactly. It's amazing. But anyway, and I've always learned this. It's not what you know, it's who knows. Not only who you know, but who knows you.
But who knows you. That's a good point. And relationships, friendships, don't burn bridges, call it what you want. But
and when Fran was a head coach at various places, when he was at Notre Dame, we would bump heads, sometimes recruiting the same players, et cetera. So again, it goes back to that mutual respect we had for one another. And as it worked out, Fran, we connected that Sunday, and he offered me an opportunity to come here and visit the campus, and I came in for an interview, and he offered me the job. So I owe Fran
karma.
I know, it's amazing.
Good karma.
Awesome. Things just happen. I got lucky, I guess. I don't know. And here I am. I've been here 12 years now.
Oh, we love having you. We love having Sherm around.
It's been the best. May I say this? And I said this many times before, and I want to say it again. I've coached in some marvelous places. I've been in the ACC. I've lived in some great cities, Atlanta, Dallas, Washington, D.C., San Francisco. I've enjoyed living here better than any place I've lived.
Well, that's very kind of you to say that, and we all appreciate
we love Iowa.
Governor Reynolds is smiling right now, tuned in, listening to Sherman Dillard talk about how he loves, especially on this cold night in January.
My next job is going to be on the Chamber of Commerce.
Well, Josh Schomburger up the street would probably hire you too, Sherm. On the Big Ten scoreboard, courtesy of U.S. Bank, it's Rutgers holding on over Michigan at the moment, 70-59. A couple minutes left to go in that game. That's out in Piscataway. Illinois has just gone final and defeated Minnesota, 76-53. The Illini playing at a high rate, winning by 23 at the Barn up in Williams Arena. We're going to step out and take a break, and promise you when we come back, we'll talk to Sherm about first look at the Wisconsin Badgers coming up Thursday. I want to mention that Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffery here from the Hyatt Regency in the Edgewater Grill and Bar is brought to you by Authentic Brand. Authentic Brand apparel. To look and feel my best, I reach for Authentic Brand gear. The style and comfort of Authentic Brand by TCB Companies delivers that boost of confidence to be my best on the air, and you will be your best too at your job. Outfit your life with Authentic Brand gear by TCB Companies, and don't just do it in Authentic Brand. Wellmark Blue Cross Blue Shield is a proud partner of Iowa Hawkeye basketball. Blue is caring, blue is convenient. And now Blue is Medicare Advantage from Wellmark Advantage Health Plans, offering all-in-one Medicare coverage, our extensive network, and the confidence of being covered by Wellmark Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Learn more at wellmarkadvantage.com. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. 10 seconds for ID here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. You're listening to Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffery. We'll go to Twitter and Facebook for Sherman Dillard and get a scouting report on Wisconsin next on Hawk Talk from Learfield.
Get your ice cold Bud Light Seltzer here. Even though you can't go to the game, doesn't mean the game can't be brought to you now, hip. Just go to budlight.com/delivery. That's budlight.com/delivery.
Give me 2 mangoes.
Coming at you. It's a little short. Ow. Sorry. You know what? I'm just going to walk them over to you.
Whenever there's a game to watch, there's a Bud Light there. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, and Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beer, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
This year, don't just get ready, get holiday ready with Ford. And the best place to start is at your local Ford dealer. Now is the time to get a great deal on America's undisputed leader in trucks, Ford F-Series. With all its power and technology, it's no wonder F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America for 44 straight years. Inventory is arriving daily, so get the season started off right at your Ford dealer during the Get Holiday Ready sales event. Best-selling claim based on 1977 to 2020 calendar year total sales.
Knowing that I can make a difference in my patients' lives keeps me motivated every single day. Hi, I'm Dr. Kanya Ferguson at University of Iowa Healthcare. With academic medicine, we see the toughest cases, so we're always innovating. And we bring the best minds together to collaborate, so there's more brain power focused on you. Because that leads to exceptional care for our patients and our community. See how at uihc.org.
When you build a network locally engineered for the home team, you know how important a strong connection is on game day. So you give every fan in town access to 5G at no extra charge. Now, when you switch to US Cellular, you can get unlimited 5G data for only $30 a month with 4 lines. Join the nationwide network built from your town up and stay connected to your home team with US Cellular 5G. Switch today and get unlimited 5G data for only $30 a month with 4 lines. Terms apply. 5G not available everywhere. See uscellular.com for details.
When you set up a savings goal with U.S. Bank, it grows with you. There's no limit to what you can crochet. Can do. Doesn't have to be crocheting, but it totally could be. Like the headphones you're listening to this ad with, you could totally crochet those. There's no telling where your savings goal will take you. Maybe you'll save enough for yarn to crochet your house or the whole town. Oh, right. Doesn't have to be crochet related.
Set up savings goals on the U.S. Bank mobile app, even for the wildest of dreams. U.S. Bank. We'll get there together. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
In Iowa, we grow corn, a lot of corn. We love seeing our farmers in the fields, and although they're perfect strangers, we know them. We know them by their equipment covered in dust. We know them by their work ethic, where days off don't exist. We know them by the way they wave, passing strangers alike on a 2-lane road. We know them in the midst of our kitchen as we prepare another family meal. In Iowa, we grow corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa. The Iowa corn farmers are proud to be on the sidelines for the Iowa Hawkeyes.
It's Hawk Talk with Iowa basketball coach Fran McCaffery. Gary Dolphin here in the driver's seat, along with Iowa assistant coach Sherm Dillard, and of course my broadcast partner Bobby Hansen will be on the air at 7 o'clock Thursday night. Iowa at Wisconsin. That always has a special ring to it. Hawks got the Badgers twice last year in the final game of the regular season across the way at Carver Hawkeye Arena, 77-73. Then knocked them off by 5 in the first round or the quarterfinal round of the Big Ten tournament. Down in Indianapolis, as Iowa and Wisconsin had another slugfest. The Hawkeyes prevailing 62-57. Jordan Bohannon tweeted out a little bit ago, "Hey, can we move the start time up Thursday night because it's way past mine and Brad Davison's bedtime."
What about Sherman Dillard?
I love his sense of humor, though. Jay
he's terrific.
All right, Sherm, give us a snapshot. Without revealing the inside game plan of the Wisconsin Badgers. They just keep doing the same thing with a tweak here and a twitch there, and they win every year.
A very solid basketball team and a good program, as we all know, and we expect it to be a rock fight. It's going to be a tough game, particularly at that place. They've assembled a great group of guys that play that system. They're going to play hard. Offensively, they're going to ball control, move the ball side to side, try to isolate you, try to get some one-on-one opportunities, and they play smart basketball. They have some individual talent. I think we forget that they do have players that can ball, and Johnny Davis may be one of the best players not only in this conference, but maybe one of the top players in the country the way he's playing right now. 37 points against Purdue. And you know how stingy Purdue plays defense
at Mackey Arena.
At Mackey Arena, to come away from and have that type of game when you're the focal point of that defense, and he's at the top of the scouting report. So my hat's off to him. Obviously, it's going to behoove us to do a great job of trying to limit his touches and limit his impact on the game. But I always say this, guys, that become elite players when they become hard to guard, Gary, and I think he's one of those players that he fits into that mold of a guy that can score in so many different ways. He can put the ball on the floor. He can create off the bounce. He's able to knock down the three, and he's above average athlete, which means he can finish at the rim. So we'll have our hands full trying to contain him and defend him. And we know how Brad Davidson is in terms of his toughness and physicality, and also his ball skills, his ability to knock down shots and make plays off the bounce. And we'll have to work exceedingly hard to make sure that we can move the ball offensively. I think the times we've struggled maybe against teams like Wisconsin is when the ball is stuck with us, meaning we haven't been able to move the ball on. So we have to have an incredible amount of ball and player movement. Got to move with a purpose. We got to swing the ball side to side and work on going inside out against a team like this.
Sherman, where has Davis improved the most from last year to this year, freshman to sophomore year?
Well, I think it's physically, I think he's stronger. It seems like he's a tad bigger, more explosive. Not having seen him in person, Bobby, I think when kids make that kind of jump, it's a mindset. I think they have to understand that now I belong. I think we're seeing the same thing go on with our own Keegan Murray. He had the fields of tools, last year, and people didn't get a chance to see all of it. Now I think Keegan thinks differently and considers himself a part of the elite group. And yet he continues to come to work every day and work his behind off to make sure that he can continue to elevate his game. And John is the same way, I think. We had a chance to see him on the circuit in AAU basketball and high school, and he and his brother both, they were good high school players. You never know why or what triggers a kid's jump, if you will. I call it a jump. They make that jump, and my hat's off to him. He's made that jump, an incredible jump to go from where he was. And he was recruited out of high school. I mean, he had scholarship offers, but I think he's made a giant jump, very much like Keegan.
Well, rebounding is always critical, too. Tyler Wall has improved. They've got a couple new big guys. They always pluck one or two out of Minneapolis, St. Paul area. And Greg Gard is he's a chip off the old Bo Ryan block. So
he is.
Greg is as tough as they come, and he'll have the Badgers ready. Stephen Crowell is an interesting case study out of Eagan, Minnesota. And then they come off the bench with Jordan Davis that Sherm pointed to a moment ago.
The big transfer from Cincinnati.
Let me find him here. Are you talking about Neath, Jacoby Neath? He's a junior. He's a transfer from Wake Forest. Chris Vogt. Yeah, he was in the game quite a bit last night. Yeah. Out of Cincinnati and Mayfield, Kentucky. And, of course, that's the tornado that devastated Chris Vogt's hometown of Mayfield. Saw a couple great stories on him and his family, and the help that people, not only in Iowa, but in Wisconsin, are providing for the folks in Kentucky.
Well, Chris and Stephen given some length inside. They're both 7-footers.
Yes.
I saw Stephen in high school quite a bit, a kid from Minnesota. A very skilled, I would call him a stretch 5, if you will, but probably a stretch 4. Capable of knocking down outside shots. He can put the ball on the floor and make some plays down low. He's a very skilled player.
Hawks got a guard, and we'll come back and guard some more from Twitter and Facebook with Coach Sherman Dillard filling in for Coach McCaffery tonight here on Hawk Talk from Learfield.
After a cancer diagnosis, it's natural to want to start treatment right away. But first, get a second opinion from a team that specializes in your cancer. I'm Dr. George Weiner, Director of University of Iowa Holden Comprehensive Cancer Center. Before you start treatment, you deserve to be confident you have the right diagnosis and know every option available to you. So whether it's with us or somewhere else, get a second opinion. It can change your care and your life.
When you build a network locally engineered for the home team. You know how important a strong connection is on game day, so you give every fan in town access to 5G at no extra charge. Now, when you switch to US Cellular, you can get unlimited 5G data for only $30 a month with 4 lines. Join the nationwide network built from your town up and stay connected to your home team with US Cellular 5G. Switch today and get unlimited 5G data for only $30 a month with 4 lines. Terms apply. 5G not available everywhere. See uscellular.com for details.
Get your ice cold Bud Light Seltzer here. Even though you can't go to the game, doesn't mean the game can't be brought to you now here. Just go to budlight.com/delivery. That's budlight.com/delivery.
Give me 2 mangoes.
Coming at you. It's a little short. Ow. Sorry. You know what? I'm just going to walk them over to you.
Whenever there's a game to watch, there's a Bud Light there. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, and Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beer, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
There's a sense of pride that comes from the life of a farmer. How many people can say they have a famous tan named after them, or be known for their wave when they drive past neighbors and strangers alike on a 2-lane road? Whether it's a farmer's tan or the farmer's wave, we are proud to be known for a lot of things. We feel that pride every night at the dinner table, knowing we feed our family and yours. Iowa Corn is proud to be on the sidelines cheering on the Iowa Hawkeyes. In Iowa, we grow corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
When you set up a savings goal with U.S. Bank, it grows with you. There's no limit to what you can crochet. Can do. Doesn't have to be crocheting, but it totally could be. Like the headphones you're listening to this ad with, you could totally crochet those. There's no telling where your savings goal will take you. Maybe you'll save enough for yarn to crochet your house or the whole town. Oh, right. Doesn't have to be crochet related.
Set up savings goals on the U.S. Bank mobile app, even for the wildest of dreams. U.S. Bank. We'll get there together. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Hi, Hawk fans. This is Gary Dolphin. I've been telling you about Authentic Brand's superb Hawkeye gear. But did you know Authentic Brand by TCB Companies is an official outfitter of well-known enterprises and organizations, including iHeartRadio Group and Learfield. The style and comfort and great looks of Authentic Brand gear, both sporty and professional, will give your image a boost. Outfit your personal and professional life in Authentic Brand gear.
And we're back on Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffery. We appreciate Coach Sherman Dillard filling in for Coach Fran tonight. We had Kirk Spiro here a couple weeks ago for an hour or so, and appreciate the assistant coaching staff giving of their time tonight to join us here at the beautiful Hyatt Regency. Join us for Hawk Talk at Hyatt Regency Coralville. Edgewater Grill and Bar, where you can enjoy extended happy hour until 8:30. Come and try their brand new menu and enjoy nightly specials, including $2 Michelob draft beers, half-off glasses of select wines, and buy one, get one half-off appetizers and sandwiches. You can catch Hawk Talk live each week here at the Hyatt Regency Coralville's Edgewater Bar and Grill during the basketball season. On the U.S. Bank scoreboard now, both Big Ten games tonight have gone final. Kofi Cockburn had 29 points as Illinois ran it up on Minnesota up in the Twin Cities, 76-53. A double-double for Kofi, 29 points and 10 rebounds. He's just a double-double machine. And for the first time ever, Rutgers knocked off the Michigan Wolverines, 75-67. First win for Coach Peichel and the Knights over the Wolverines. Geo Baker with 27 points for Rutgers. Hunter Dickinson is back on track. He had 25 for the Wolverines. Michigan now 7-6. And sure, that's the Big Ten this year, seemingly every year, but especially this year. There's a lot of even Steven teams top to bottom.
I think you can say that about the Big Ten almost every year, but this year more so than previous years. When you check out the scores, I tell the guys all the time, and Fran does the same thing, you have to be ready. This is the big, and you have to lace it up and come to play every single night. We have to make sure we take care of games at home, make sure we do our due diligence to put forth the best effort we can, and then be able to go on the road and steal a few games. The competition is unbelievably good this year, and I think what has changed in college basketball is how rosters are changing so dramatically during the course from one year to the next. years ago, you would have a guy in your team, and he would stay until his senior year, maybe stay 4 years. Sometimes you get a kid like a Buck Williams that stayed 3 years, and now Ross is just having so much turnover that I think it can create some inconsistency with how good you can be, or it can turn a team around and make them very good when people don't expect them to be good.
Among the ranked teams tonight around the country, number 1 Baylor is won, beating Oklahoma 84-74. 9th-ranked Auburn, a winner over South Carolina, 81-66. Duke is out to an early lead on Georgia Tech. Where's that LSU score? Here it is, LSU 61, Kentucky 60, with 27 seconds to go in that game. So Calipari's crew's down in Louisiana tonight. Speaking of Louisiana, I met the new head volleyball coach for the Hawkeyes today, Jim Barnes, and boy, does he have an impressive resume. He's won everywhere he's been. Comes to Iowa City from Tulane. Was at Baylor before that, at the University of Wyoming. Had all of those programs in deep runs in the NCAA tournament, and there's no reason that Iowa can't have a winning program in the best volleyball conference in America. I flipped the TV on here a week or so back, and here's Nebraska playing Wisconsin for the NCAA championship, not the Big Ten title. And the Badgers prevailed over the Huskers, who have been good every year. Minnesota, Michigan, so many good teams. And I asked Coach Barnes, why is that? Why is the Big Ten? It used to be the Pac-12 for many years. He goes, well, think about it. The Big Ten has got the finest academic institutions in America. Kids want to come here for the exposure, for the competition, and it makes perfect sense. You could say that about all 24 sports at Iowa.
Absolutely, absolutely. I haven't had a chance to meet Jim yet. I did, obviously.
Really impressed.
Their office is right across our way, and I think it was during the break, the secretary came out and said, and she said the same thing. She was raving about meeting him and having a chance to spend some time with him. She said, you're going to love him, and she said, I'm sure you're looking forward to having a chance to spend some time with him. So.
Well, any coach that has won 455 matches in 24 years, that's stayability.
Absolutely.
Coach, before we go to break, give me a quick answer on this one. Let's see. Let me get the name right. Oh, Casey. What do you say to a player who is going through shooting struggles during the season? You know he's a good shooter. Most kids are at this level. But do you talk to him a lot, or do you talk to him at all? Just let him, kind of like a hitting slump, keep swinging.
I'm of the mindset that you have to get in the gym and get work in. And what we do, and without verbalizing so much, we just grab them and say, hey, listen, you want to spend 20 minutes in the gym? And our guys are good at that. I think they're also self-driven. We have a bevy of managers that they call up, and they can be in the gym. I can walk in the gym anytime sometimes, and there's 2 or 3 guys in the gym with a manager or a couple of managers getting up shots. But as coaches, we can work with guys. I think that's the best recipe for getting your shot back. And now sometimes the mental part of it is, I think sometimes less is more. I think if you continue to dwell on someone's, maybe, for instance, someone's not shooting free throws well, and if you continue to harp on the fact that they're not shooting free throws well, guess what? They continue to struggle. So we just, we make sure we're shooting free throws every day after practice for 15 minutes. Again, we don't vocalize or verbalize the fact that, hey, listen, you got to make your free throws. They know they need to make their free throws. They need to know they need to continue to work on improving their free throw shooting percentage. So that's how we go about it.
Soft, spoken, quiet love, right?
Exactly.
Just keep practicing, and it'll come back. Thank you, Coach. We'll come back with Sherm Diller and Bobby Hansen in a minute. Throughout the Iowa Corn Cyhawk Series, Iowa Corn promotes honest, hard-working values that are uniquely Iowan. So on behalf of Iowa's corn farmers, we salute all fans and athletes for their hard work and determination to be the best, both on and off the field. Just like our top athletes, our state leads the nation in corn and ethanol production. Follow Iowa Corn and learn how corn grows Iowa. Drive carefully if you're out and about tonight on this wintry January evening. More Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffery in just a minute from Learfield.
American Equity salutes today's hero of the game and is a proud sponsor of the ongoing recognition of our military at Hawkeye games this season. Thank you to all the men and women, past and present, who have served our country and allow all of us to enjoy the freedom and liberty we enjoy today. American Equity's vision is to become the premier insurance company specializing in retirement savings and income products. To learn more about our company, please visit our website at american-equity.com.
When you build a network locally engineered for the home team. You know how important a strong connection is on game day, so you give every fan in town access to 5G at no extra charge. Now, when you switch to US Cellular, you can get unlimited 5G data for only $30 a month with 4 lines. Join the nationwide network built from your town up and stay connected to your home team with US Cellular 5G. Switch today and get unlimited 5G data for only $30 a month with 4 lines. Terms apply. 5G not available everywhere. See uscellular.com for details.
Hi, I'm Gary Dolphin, and if you want your home to be exceptionally comfortable during these cold Iowa winters and hot, humid summers, you need to turn to Dave Lennox and your local Lennox home comfort specialist. Lennox has been serving Iowa consumers since 1895, when Dave Lennox built his first furnace in Marshalltown, and Lennox is still building its high-efficiency furnaces and air conditioners there today. For the best home comfort system you can buy, it's Lennox and your local Lennox dealer. Lennox and the Hawkeyes. Now there's a winning combination.
What are you craving? The Wig and Pin in Ankeny, across from DMAC, is proud to offer dine-in and carry-out. Home of the famous Flying Tomato Pizza and Chicago-style deep dish, The Wig has all of your favorites, including thin crust pizza, appetizers, lots of sandwiches like the Turkey Club and Reuben, soups and salads you'll love, and a full bar. Call to order or just come on in for lunch and dinner. The Wig and Pin in Ankeny. What are you craving?
Are you looking to downsize from your family home to begin your retirement years? Our Oak Knoll East campus is for you. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director at Oak Knoll. Our new campus has many unique amenities for your active lifestyle, in addition to providing the same great services that Oak Knoll has offered our residents for over 50 years. We're now open and have a few 2-bedroom apartments still available. Call me at 319-351-1720 or visit oakknoll.com to set up your personal tour. Go Hawks!
Knowing that I can make a difference in my patients' lives keeps me motivated every single day. Hi, I'm Dr. Kanya Ferguson at University of Iowa Healthcare. With academic medicine, we see the toughest cases, so we're always innovating. And we bring the best minds together to collaborate, so there's more brain power focused on you. Because that leads to exceptional care for our patients and our community. See how at uihc.org.
Hawkeyes at Wisconsin, 8 o'clock Thursday night, 7 o'clock for the pregame show here with Bobby and yours truly, Gary Dolphin on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Sherman Dillard is pinch hitting for Coach McCaffery. Sherman, we got Tom wanting to know what arenas, obviously Carver Hawkeye Arena is your favorite, but what arenas are your favorite to visit?
That's a tough question.
Oh,
it really is.
Give us 2 or 3 that you enjoy. You don't have to rank them. Just give
Big
us
Ten or NBA, doesn't matter.
Oh boy, that's a tough one.
Well, let's stick with the
Big Ten
college. Let's just stick with college.
You know, I used to enjoy going to Duke.
Cameron Indoor.
Cameron Indoor. Yeah. I love that arena. And they kept it quaint, too. I mean, they had an opportunity to make it, 15, 20,000 seat arena. I think they still only go 10,000. Yeah, so, but I absolutely love Carver. And I love James Madison Godwin Hall.
I've not been to James Madison Hall. What's the James Madison? What was the name?
The facility was Godwin Hall.
Godwin Hall. Okay.
It was brand new at the time. I'm dating myself, but when I enrolled in school, it was a brand new facility.
What town is James Madison?
In Harrisonburg, Virginia.
Harrisonburg, Virginia.
Can you name one great athlete that grew up in Harrisonburg, Virginia?
You threw this at me a couple of years ago, and I whiffed on it, and my recall's not very good.
I think Bobby has it.
Played with him.
Bobby played with him.
We're together in Sacramento.
You were only in Sacramento for a year.
Yeah.
I mean, if you said Utah.
He's a long drink of water, about
7'4".
Oh, Mark Eaton.
No.
Mark's from California.
Well, he was with Utah.
A little bit thinner.
Let's just go Ralph.
Oh, Sampson. He was from, no kidding.
Yeah.
That's right.
Ralph Sampson was the second best player to ever play in Harrisonburg, Virginia.
There you go.
Well, on that note, we got to work one more break in here. We'll come back.
Ralph in Virginia.
We'll wrap it up in just a minute on Hawk Talk from Learfield.
Get your ice cold Bud Light Seltzer here. Even though you can't go to the game, doesn't mean the game can't be brought to you now here. Just go to budlight.com/delivery. That's budlight.com/delivery.
Give me 2 mangoes.
Coming at you. It's a little short. Ow. Sorry. You know what? I'm just going to walk them over to you.
Whenever there's a game to watch, there's a Bud Light there. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, and Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beer, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
After a cancer diagnosis, it's natural to want to start treatment right away. But first, get a second opinion from a team that specializes in your cancer. I'm Dr. George Weiner, Director of University of Iowa Holden Comprehensive Cancer Center. Before you start treatment, you deserve to be confident you have the right diagnosis and know every option available to you. So whether it's with us or somewhere else, get a second opinion. It can change your care and your life.
When you set up a savings goal with U.S. Bank, it grows with you. There's no limit to what you can crochet. Can do. Doesn't have to be crocheting, but it totally could be. Like the headphones you're listening to this ad with, you could totally crochet those. There's no telling where your savings goal will take you. Maybe you'll save enough for yarn to crochet your house or the whole town. Oh, right. Doesn't have to be crochet related.
Set up savings goals on the U.S. Bank mobile app, even for the wildest of dreams. U.S. Bank. We'll get there together. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Anything can happen when the Cyclones and Hawkeyes come to compete. It's where the rubber meets the road. Neighbors become rivals and friends become foes. Some go home brokenhearted, while others are victorious. When the dust finally settles, one thing stands true. No matter which side you're on, you're part of tradition for those who are Iowan through and through. We're Iowa Corn, a proud sponsor of the Iowa Corn Cy-Hawk Series. In Iowa, we grow corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
When you build a network locally engineered for the home team, you know how important a strong connection is on game day. So you give every fan in town access to 5G at no extra charge. Now, when you switch to US Cellular, you can get unlimited 5G data for only $30 a month with 4 lines. Join the nationwide network built from your town up and stay connected to your home team with US Cellular 5G. Switch today and get unlimited 5G data for only $30 a month with 4 lines. Terms apply. 5G not available everywhere. See uscellular.com for details.
Hawk fans, stop in and visit the newly transformed Hyatt Regency Coralville Hotel and Conference Center. Located in the heart of the Iowa River Landing, walking distance to Extreme Arena, home of the Iowa Hawkeyes volleyball team, as well as some great restaurants, shopping, and scenic walking trails along the Iowa River. Hyatt Regency is the new home of Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffery this fall. Come find your place at Hyatt Regency, where we care for people so they can be their best.
Hawkeyes at Wisconsin Thursday. We've had a lot of fun visiting with Sherman Dillard tonight. Sherm is one of the primary recruiters for Coach Fran McCaffery. And Lisa checked in, Coach, on Twitter. Can you talk about what all goes into a recruiting trip? I think where she's going with this is, who are you allowed, who do you contact at the school to set it up? You call the coach, the principal. I know they have some strict rules and regulations these days just to get into a school.
Yes. First and foremost, you have to make sure you make contact with a high school coach, or you can talk directly with the kid. And at times we have restrictions depending upon the calendar. Say during this period between September to April, we can go out and watch as many prospects as we want. There are limits in terms of how many we can see, how many trips we can make. It's 130 total for our entire staff. So with the 4 coaches going out, we total 130 days on the road recruiting. If Fran and I go out together, that's 2 days. Okay, give me a math lesson.
I didn't realize. I got you. I had not heard that number. What did you say, 140?
130.
130, okay.
Between 4.
Between the 4 of us. So we have to be judicious in how we use those days. And during the summer months, you don't have those limitations. But basically, a recruiting trip entails this: identifying the player that you want to recruit, or the players, going to traveling to that high school. A lot of times during the summer months, it's easier. You get more done. You get more bang for your buck because they have these tournaments
all over the country.
All over the country. It could be Vegas, could be Augusta, could be Atlanta, could be in Arkansas, etc.
See a lot of players.
So you can see multiple kids in one setting, and we do that during the summer months. But during the season, when high school season, you basically can catch a kid play on a Tuesday night or a Friday night. You make a trip to Minneapolis, see a kid play, and you fly back the next day, or you continue to stay on the road. During the season, it's tough to get out on the road and see as many kids as we want because we have scouting assignments and we also have games to play.
Well, and you always catch up with us at the hotel. We know when Sherm's not around, he's out recruiting. Coach, we're out of time. Thanks so much for your time. Great to see you, and we'll see you in Madison. Thank you all for joining us tonight here at the Hyatt Regency and the Edgewater Grill and Bar. We'll be back next week. Good night, everybody.
on the Hawkeye Sports Network. From Learfield, live from the Hyatt Regency, this has been Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffery. Brought to you by Bud Light. It's for the fans. Brought to you by Ford, inviting you to visit your local Ford store or buyfordnow.com. Hy-Vee, the official grocer partner of Iowa Hawkeyes basketball. Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle. U.S. Bank, life keeps moving. We're here for every step. U.S. Bank, member FDIC. U.S. Cellular, today's game brought to you by U.S. Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. And by Hyatt Regency, caring for people so they can be their best. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Hawkeye Sports Network.